couple extra.
4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks, 'cause I don't need the money with a face like that, do ya? No, you don't need the money with a face like that, do ya? Big black boots, long brown hair, she's so sweet with her get back stare. I could see you at home with me, but you are with another man. I know we ain't got much to say, but before I let you get away, are you gonna be my girl? 1, 2, 3, turn your hand, come with me, 'cause you look so fine and I really wanna make you mine. You look so fine and I really wanna make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks, 'cause I don't need the money with a face like that, do ya? You don't. Big black boots, long brown hair, she's so sweet with her get back stare. I could see you at home with me, but you are with another man. I know we ain't got much to say, but before I let you get away,
Everything's fine. You come to a show and you've got two people zooming in. You weren't expecting that.
Technology, isn't it great?
I know, right? Speaking of technology, would it have killed you to buy a $10 mic, Luke? Alright, let me... I gotta get the music. Everything's fine. I just need to be shouting at you guys just so much as it is. So, okay, and then that. And yes, that's going to make a noise. Okay. And we'll frame these guys up here. It'll be fun. Oh shit, we're all zeros. Okay. Oh no.
This is how the sausage gets made, folks. Hi, you guys. You don't know that I can see you from this angle, but hi, Luke. Hi, Tyler.
Hi.
You doing good?
How are you?
You know what?
Chilling.
Let's just turn that out so you guys, so you can interact while I'm working on. Oh, Becky, you were covering for me. You were covering for me with the patter, the banter with the boys, with the Zoom boys.
Zoom boys.
Hey guys.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Make my heart go boom.
Oh, I could find everybody's titles too. Gosh darn it.
Girl.
Everything's gonna be fine. Welcome. Hi there. This is the pre-show. Don't worry. We still technically haven't started, so it can still look like this.
Yeah. You can't get pregnant from pre-show.
Before?
Oh, well, this is a great introduction.
Everyone knows that.
It's great.
Yeah.
You're gonna love it.
The show is
It's
great.
a lot of fun.
Let us get past the quirks of opening the show, and then I'll stake my reputation on the program. But some of the production, it could use some work. All right. Hey, there's people almost in their proper spots. This works out great. Hi. Oh, and I'll be looking up there too. Not that I don't love you guys, but we're streaming too. You can check out everything that we do streaming here on twitch.tv/stabcomedy or just stabcomedy or stabtv.com. Yeah, we bought that domain. To make it look a little more legit, it just leads you to the Twitch page. All right. Well, while I'm continuing to do this, Becky, how are you?
I'm good.
You've been busy.
I've been very busy.
Is this the first time back since expanding
the
the Lynn Rice household?
I think so. I think so. Yeah. Because I think I postponed it. I was supposed to be back earlier, and then I had to put it off.
Somebody got paid that night, so I get it, guys. I don't begrudge you when you get paying gigs.
Thank you. But yeah, things are good. The baby's in aqua tots, which is like mini swim lessons for infants.
Okay.
So
aqua tots.
it's very cute. She has a flamingo towel with a hood with a little flamingo beak on it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we have fun.
I mean, you might as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got a kid.
Yeah,
they have cute.
Gotta squeeze in all those photo ops for her high school yearbook.
Yeah, they've got all these adorable tiny outfits. You might as well
totally
dress them up. Take advantage of that. Well, good to have you. We'll talk more in the actual show. Lucas Soin, should I not bother you while you're still writing your material?
I'll figure it out.
Your name's not really Lucas, is it?
Probably not.
Nah.
Is it just Luke?
Yeah.
Or is it? Oh.
Luke?
Okay.
I think they named me after the author of the Bible, one of the authors.
Sure.
He was a Lucas.
Huh.
Sure, it couldn't possibly be that your parents were Star Wars fans.
I asked them that when I was like 4, and they were like, no.
That sucks. I need to stop looking up like that. I'll just...
Yeah, you just hear him. Luke, could you do me a favor and see if you plugged your mic in?
Yeah, I don't know.
You sound terrible.
Is this better?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's very good.
Now we're cooking with Soin.
There's something wrong with my headphones because like half the time they don't work and the rest of the time they do, and I don't understand.
Well, that's not great. I know I'm gonna pay for this later, but I'm just gonna organize everybody. I'm gonna move them all around. This is gonna be a tragedy come next Friday, but I don't care. We've got people that are actually here to actually see you guys. So.
And they're definitely not plotting to leave, right? You guys are in it for the long haul.
Don't do that to them. No, I've been there like hostage at shows. I literally couldn't leave a house like comedy show once because like the stage was by the door. You had to like make eye contact with the guy as you were leaving.
All right. You guys, we're all set. See, that was only a couple extra minutes. We're all ready to go.
You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, you're doing good,
All right,
Luke.
cool. I had it on like not speaker mode, but okay now.
Okay, problem solved. Let me pull up my end of the deal here so that I can read all of the poorly thought out things that I wrote for you guys 2 days ago and not remember what they were. So I stumble over everything I do.
As long we're all on the same page in that way, then.
That's, yeah. That's the fun of the game, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's all last minute.
That's why we're not on Crackle yet, because we haven't ironed out the wrinkles in this thing. Yes, Luke. I still want us on Crackle. A Crackle original. Give me 3 seasons. Won't cost you anything. All right. Yeah, I can do this. We can do that. I'm sure there was a cold open in there when I edit these episodes. I do still edit them. I promise. And let's get the program started. Thank you, guys. Now you can start judging us.
Roughly 24 to 92 hours ago, Stab's team of comedy scientists commissioned 3 specific humorists to give various potentially comedic takes on several random topics, which they will now perform for the first and likely last time in front of a live studio audience in a show called Stab.
This is Stab, a compelling alternative to animal proteins. Let's introduce tonight's panel. Our first panelist once scowled at an owl carrying a trowel and wearing only a towel. She's the co-host of It's Crazier in My Business. It's Becky Lynn.
Hi, that's me.
Our second panelist is from an alternate Earth but tries not to talk about it too much. He's a hilarious comedian. It's Luke Soin.
Oh, hell no.
And our third panelist is the anvil player in the Swedish black metal band Wound Puss. He's a Stab show favorite. It's Tyler Kinney.
Hi, everybody.
And I'm your host, Jesse Jones, officially no longer allowed in certain name brand afterlives. Welcome, everyone, to Stab. Have we mentioned we're on Saturday nights on KUTZ 103.1 at 11 p.m. now?
No.
Cutsfm.org. Check it out. We've got some old episodes that we're playing on.
Yeah. I would have wrote this very differently if I knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
That it could potentially make it onto the over-the-air airwaves that reach kind of, sort of, most of Midtown. It's low power, guys.
I mean, that's my brand, you know?
If you're not in the immediate Midtown area, you probably can't hear the show. Anyway, well, I mean, you can hear it everywhere. You know what? Let's get into it later. Let's meet tonight's panel. Hey, Becky.
Hi.
Hi there.
Look at me physically here.
I know.
Stab.
That's you beat out 2/3 of the other panel. I mean, at least Tyler has an excuse over there in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Luke's
just kidding.
Luke's
No,
around
you're
the corner.
absolutely right.
I have no excuse.
Yeah, that's all right. You're plopped under that ceiling fan. We can let that slide. Becky, how are things?
You know, things are good.
Yeah.
Just doing stand-up and raising my kid.
Yeah. I mean, that's all well and good, but saw that you had a milestone episode come out recently.
Episode 50
Yeah.
of It's Crazier in My Business. That's my podcast. You guys should listen to it. You'll love it. You know, we've just been out here giving advice to the masses, really just helping the people with what they need. So, doing good work, unprofessionally, of course.
I mean, most advice comes from unprofessional sources.
Fair enough. Ours is at least solicited, so
yeah,
we have that going for us. Which
People
is nice.
are actually asking you for
They are.
for advice. All right, I want to keep going because we're way late, but I'm gonna. Any questions in particular stand out recently? Episodes or?
We had. No, not really. It's so hard because once we answer them, I
just put it back out of your mind.
Yeah, because a lot of them can be like a little bit traumatic.
You can't carry that with you back.
But we do get a lot of like positive feedback, and I appreciate that.
That's
so good. A lot of praise.
Well, awesome.
People tell us that we're beautiful and smart, and all of those reviews and feedback make us feel really good.
Yeah,
so if you guys listen, make sure to.
I haven't gotten one of those reviews. So 9.5 years, I'm doing something wrong.
Well, now that I'm on staff, you might get.
Yeah. I'll get a contact, beautiful and
You'll
smart.
get a review for me.
Yeah. Well, thank
that
you,
I
Becky.
wrote.
Good to have you as always, Luke.
Yes.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi. How's things in Luke Soin's world?
It's good. I've been working.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sure.
That's not funny, but it's. I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I'm working on a cooking show that you will never see called Plated Sacramento, and it's going to be on very local, which no one has and no one will watch. But we're making it.
I don't know that this is the best sales pitch.
I want to be on it.
I'm just a camera guy.
Oh well.
It's cool where there's like we get. I'm just a camera guy. I'm not making it. I'm helping, but
yeah.
Get like local Michelin star chefs to battle. It's basically Chopped, but it's at American River College's kitchen.
Oh.
So
just where Michelin star chefs prefer to be. Sorry.
Is this, and again, not to disparage this I think it's perfectly legitimate sounding show.
Yeah.
But is this going to be one of those shows that's basically shown in just like on the hotel room TV station where you you turn it on and that's where it starts before you go to a TV guide or something?
I hope not, but
because I will get a night at a Comfort Inn to watch this show.
We'll have a viewing party.
Or maybe like a gas pump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're pushing content at gas pumps now.
Yeah. You know what? I'll take 3 seasons on Shell TV. I'll take that too. After Crackle just continues denying it. Well, Luke, got stuff going on around town. You're doing shows. You're doing shows in your own backyard for Criminy.
And they're so good.
Yeah.
I do that. Yeah, Becky was on the last one. It was great.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun.
That was one of our best shows yet this year.
It was really, really good.
Well, awesome. I don't resent all these backyard shows at all, being a struggling theater owner.
I started during COVID stuff.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, good to have you, Luke. It has been, I looked it up, almost exactly 2 years, I think, since you were in a regular episode. You were on the holiday special. That doesn't count.
Right. I brought my dad's shoes
yes.
as a prize. And, yeah.
And they made their rounds. They have.
Yeah. Where are they? Do you know
where
the haunted shoes are?
I think Kevin still has them. I think Kevin Scott Brown still has your dead dad's shoes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. It's what you miss when you're not here for the holiday party. Well, good to see you, Luke. I've got to push this along.
Okay.
We're gonna be fine. Becky doesn't run long. Luke stammers through a sentence or two and then moves on. Tyler, why do I shit on you when you come on the show, Luke?
I have other places to be. I'm just kidding.
I like it.
Well, we appreciate the hell out of you, Luke. So thanks for joining us again, Tyler. Hey there.
Hey.
How's the? Apparently the yard sale room has been
transformed
into a sewing room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everything shit's all packed. We're moving to Colorado soon.
Oh really?
So much better than Kentucky.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah, dude, you're telling me. I moved here being like, oh, stereotypes are just stereotypes. Like people are the same wherever you go, and then. Yeah, no. People are dumb here, and
how's the chicken?
It's banging. Like,
hell yeah.
No, the food,
yeah,
next level.
Yeah, but it could only hold off the populace for so long before you had to just move on. All right, well, yeah. Colorado inching back to Sacramento.
That's that. I'm clawing my way back.
Yeah. Well, always good to have you, Tyler. A show favorite, my favorite. The rest of you two, yeah, you're fine, I guess. But
Thanks for having me. No, I want to tell you, because like you're releasing the episode super late. No offense.
I know,
you got shit
I'm
to
trying.
do. I get it.
Yeah.
But I hear myself, and then I'm like, I gave him nothing. Like you were like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, I don't know, man. And it was just like depression, and I didn't know it at the time. But then like, looking back, I was like,
well, it's good.
So I apologize. I will be a human being with
That's
feelings.
All right.
And now, what a fun memory you have.
Yeah.
A little scrapbook piece of sadness.
Don't think I haven't been going through those last 20 that I have edited, just plotting. Oh, that's where. Oh, how does that guy sound alive? But yeah,
shit's dark.
We've both come out on the other side, and that's good.
Yeah.
And you're getting out of Kentucky. All right, let's get this program started. Yes, technically we started, but now we're actually there's 3 pre-shows in this show, guys. I'm sorry. I need to streamline it. This is why Chevron Plus hasn't picked us up. Segment 1, reorganization. Let's all meet at the HRC. Odds are, unless your back pockets are lousy with embroidery, you have no idea where I just directed us. Why would the Hard Rock Cafe need an abbreviation that friends could rally around? How many of Geddy Lee's silk shirts or Joe Perry's guitar picks do you need to dine amongst to necessitate abbreviating Hard Rock Cafe for a night out? I don't know, man. I just don't know. So instead, let's forget what else. HRC. I looked it up. HRC came up. I looked over. It said Hard Rock Cafe. I said, are you sure? And that's why we had to go with HRC, because it was nonsense. So let's forget what else HRC might stand for or represent to some walking bottles of vape juice, and instead give me who or what else HRC might stand for or represent to you. Becky Lynn, HRC.
I'm not throwing away my shot. Oh, hello. I didn't see you there. I was too busy listening to the Hamilton soundtrack for the umpteenth time. Oh, you've heard it? You love it too? Well, maybe you'd like to come to a meeting with me? No, not an Herbalife meeting. That's on Tuesdays. Let me know if you need some smoothie mix, though. Anyway, you'll love this. Every Monday evening, my Lin-Ball friends and I get together. Do you get it? Lin-Ball? Because Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote it, and Lin-Ball sounds like Lint-Ball. Yeah, you get it, right? It's a pun. Do you like puns? We have a pun group, too. But that's actually on Tuesdays, so you would have to skip the Herbalife meeting next week if you want to go to Pun Town meeting. Do you get it? Pun Town? That's a pun, too. I'm so silly. All right, the Lin Balls. Yeah, we all get together for HRC, the Hamilton Recital Club. We sing songs from the beloved musical. Are you a soprano or an alto? OMG, have you seen The Sopranos? I should start a group for that. Wait, where are you going?
Oh, I can't imagine anybody would slowly back away, not breaking eye contact from that conversation. I still, and it probably makes me a bad American, I think, still haven't watched or listened to Hamilton at all.
You probably shouldn't admit that in public.
I know.
Not in a post-Hamilton society.
Yeah. I feel like if I can paraphrase correctly, that I'm throwing away my shot.
You're not allowed to use the references if you haven't watched the musical. Those are the rules of the HRC.
That's entirely fair. Well, thank you, Becky. Hey, Luke.
Hey.
One would assume you've already done an HRC. Let's hear it.
Oh, I did. That was my first one. HRC. The latest in things that would have been invented in the 90s if the 90s had gone on longer than just a decade. The Hot Research Computer by super prominent and successful computer manufacturer Gateway 2000 is out now. Come on down to your local electronics boutique and get the Hot Research Computer desktop PC. What is the Hot Research Computer? Well, it's a normal desktop with all the normal components, except it's got long, sexy legs. That's right. You'll be so excited to do all your boring research on a computer with long, sexy legs. This computer comes with 32 megabytes of RAM. You heard me correctly. Megabytes! This computer runs on 32 whole megabytes of sexy, sexy RAM. Excuse me.
Oh, careful.
It's also got 1 gigabyte of storage.
Mm.
A whole gigabyte! Wow. You'll be researching figures, and we're not just talking about those long, sexy legs. Hot research computer! And why do we talk about those hot legs, baby? The hot research computer is fully customizable. Not only does it come in 3 sexy colors, gray, off-white, and off-white that will turn yellow eventually in a few years. But, wait, I lost my spot. But we offer many types of sexy legs. We have lady legs, man legs, robot legs, dog legs, bug legs, ladybugs, and for a limited time only, Shannon Elizabeth legs. That's right, Jim. You won't need a hot American Pie to download these legs. All you'll need is 5 easy payments of $199.99. But wait, if you act now, you will also get a pair of Freddie Prinze Jr. legs for no additional cost. Easily swappable with any other legs you purchase, including the dog legs. Don't waste a second, or these legs will be gone faster than the Rachel from Friends haircut or some other random 90s reference I Googled right before I wrote this.
Nice. Yeah. We will have to forgive the fact that Luke and everybody in the audience was not alive in the 90s. So...
I was alive the whole time.
Were you?
Yeah.
Luke is older than me, I think.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's old enough to have
and
ghost
I'm
shoes.
45.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
I'm 57 years old.
And aging great.
Yeah, you guys are both doing it better than I am.
It's the water.
Oh, okay.
It's the water.
Thank you, Luke. I don't want to get into how desktops are standing on legs, making it really very difficult to use them. I'm not going to pick those particular...
Look, we didn't design it with use in mind. Okay, sure. It was
It was form over function. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luke. And let's round out reorganization. Tyler Kinney, you have an HRC. Go ahead and read it.
It's happened really close, and it's for like in text messages when something crazy happened, and you have to say like it happened really close to me. like a guy at work cut a finger off on purpose for the insurance money. Seriously, $2,500 because he was underwater on a jet ski. Financially, not literally underwater on a jet ski. It's totally true. HRC. It happened really close. He ruined the fainting couch in the woman's bathroom with his blood, which is ironic. They gave him permission to use it while he waited for his dad to pick him up. He said he didn't need the finger because he's never going to be married. That's what I wrote.
Oh. You just used one of those Willie Travis commas, and I didn't realize you were done.
Oh, it's fine. Sorry.
So good. He was. I mean, if you're underwater on a jet ski and you have to be picked up by your dad, yeah, odds are you're probably not going to need that ring finger. So
$2,500 is not enough, though.
Well, yeah,
that's the going rate
for a finger.
Well, somebody
I say with authority
needs to bring some inflation to the black market.
They're lowballing digits out there. All right, segment 2, greeting cards. You two have not done these. Tyler has. Let's see if that advantage plays out. There's lots of little milestones in our lives that often, sadly, go unrecognized by cartoon animals making puns about shit. We at Stab are here to rectify that with greeting cards for every possible situation. In greeting cards, you're asked to compose one card each for each of the following events, occurrences, or situations. Hopefully everyone understood they did one of each of them. It's how segment 2s generally work. 111 222. Let's start around the horn. Becky Lynn, let's hear your first. Oh, fuck. I'm sorry. Let's hear your first greeting card for So You Accidentally Went in the Wrong Hole?
This is an I'm sorry greeting card.
Yeah.
Hey, have you ever walked into a glass door really hard because you thought it was a push door, but it was really a pull door? But the door was actually a person, and the handle was actually their butt. Well, I have. I did it last night. To you. I'm sorry. We good?
Yeah. That'll be enough for me.
I like very specific greeting cards.
Yeah.
I should start a company.
Well, that's why we broke out this new segment of very specific greeting cards. Luke, let's hear your "so you accidentally went in the wrong hole" card.
Okay, I apologize in advance for this, but I didn't get a chance to write a less awful one, so... Hey, it could have been worse. Could have been the right hole. And then you would have had to call her back. Plus, God says the wrong hole lets you still be a virgin, so that's kind of neat.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry I gave you this one. I do remember that this one beat out, I'm not going to, another option that I had for a card, which was, so we're not doing it in this episode, but next time we do greeting cards, know that you'll hear cards for "so you walked in on your dad masturbating."
Oh no! I'm so glad we didn't get this one because Luke and our dads are dead. It would be so much more awkward.
Oh man!
To walk in on some weird ghost.
We'll see now.
Jacking off in our house. The fuck?
I don't know. Now I want to see a ghost. Tyler.
This was just a chance for you to expose your own weird kink.
Yeah.
Boo. Boo. Boo.
I hate it here.
Sorry. Tyler, get us out of this first subject. Your card first. So you accidentally went in the wrong hole.
So this wouldn't be a commercially available card. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? You probably have to modify an existing card.
Okay.
So on the cover it says "Happy Groundhog Day," and then on the inside it says "Looks like the groundhog saw his shadow. 4 more weeks of winter," but that's crossed out, and it says 4 more days of painful stools.
Yeah. It's just, Sharpie can change any card. All right, 2 more times. The other 2 they're fine, guys. Becky, let's hear your card for that complete waste of space.
This one is an invitation. Who? You? What? Couch potato bond building time? Where? Here? When? Right now. Why? I was recently made aware by you that you think I'm a waste of space. I'm very perceptive and could sense a lot of jealousy from you. I thought you might appreciate an opportunity to also do nothing all day, all the time. Join me, babe. Work is for the weak. Bring snacks.
Man, I would be rushing out the door if I got that card. Oh, I'll bring snacks. Oh, what are the new Cheetos? Oh, always changing, always innovating. Chester is. Luke, your card for the complete waste of space.
Okay, it's nice to see that you're still just totally cool with taking up that space. We could have put like a nice coffee table there with a couple of large books no one would have ever read, and that would have been better than you, but here we are, you waste of space.
just punctuated with the turn and the smile. That was what sold it.
Yeah, I'm vamping.
Yeah. Tyler, second time around, card for that complete waste of space.
So on the cover it says, "Hey, member of Congress. I mean, am I right? These fat cats aren't getting anything done. Am I right?" And then you open it up and it says, "You are a waste of space, guys. I mean, am I right? I don't mean to get political, but I think that the fat cats in Congress could be doing more with their elected office. Am I right? Let's get it going, guys."
You love repeated rhetorical questions from cardboard. The only thing it was missing was, "This guy knows what I'm talking about." It's just a cartoon cat sitting, shrugging. All right. I'm not punching up people's cards. Third time around, let's get out of greeting cards. How do I make a short segment long? I don't know. I've just maybe one card. Third time around, Becky. Let's hear your card for sorry you overheard me calling you a fat fatty at the office.
Well, this one is a combination. I'm sorry and get well soon. I'm sorry you think you heard me saying something that I definitely didn't say about you around 2 p.m. yesterday in the break room while I was talking to Sally from finance. I definitely didn't say it, though. And as your superior, I did make sure to talk to HR about upping your healthcare benefits so that you can get a hearing test, because I'm worried that this hearing issue may be an indicator that you might not be able to fulfill the responsibilities of this role. In fact, take a sick day today and go get your hearing test done. Get well soon.
That's nice. That's nice. It's always good to have
that one was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to have a victim blaming card. Well, just a little gas. I mean, like on the cover, it should just be a lantern. So just a little gaslight. Thank you, Becky. Luke. So you wait, make sure I read it right. It's the nuances. So you overheard me calling you a fat fatty at the office. Card, go.
All right. Well, mine is similar to Becky's. They're both office-based.
All right.
I didn't mean for you to hear that. It should have just been something I sent to the office group chat that everyone is in except for you, but I was lazy, so I just said it. Plus, most of the group chat was in that conference room. And also, you weren't even supposed to be in that meeting. So I'm sorry that you heard it. Not that I said it,
yeah.
Larry. You fatty fatso.
I'm glad I took out. I had a parenthetical. Not really sorry. You guys got that. You didn't need that guidance. You guys got that.
It says a lot about us.
We dabble in humor, Jesse.
Yeah,
okay.
You understood. Didn't need to belabor the point. Tyler, let's wrap up some greeting cards with yours. Sorry you overheard me calling you a fat fatty in the office card.
So the cover it's a picture of like one of those office phones, and the speech bubble is like jagged. So like it's coming. You get it. And it says, Deborah, come on, take me off speaker with the HR lady. I'm sorry I called you a fat fatty, but you only heard the first part of my poem. And then you open the card, and it says, the second half of the poem is that I wrote you is Daddy gonna want a splatty. See, fat fatty, Daddy gonna want a splatty. It was an ode to your sloppy mud flaps and how they make me want to gunk. I love you, Deborah. Take me off speaker. You make me want to gunk.
It sounded like an uncut scene from Big Mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's good to have people in the audience because then you can see them giving the exact appropriate response to a line. You make me want to gunk. Yeah. Just imagine what that should have gotten, Tyler, and it did. Segment 3, campaign trail. Hey, did you vote last Tuesday? Were we supposed to? I never know. I just assume that there's always an election in my neck of the woods and just throw lists of names in the mailboxes every Tuesday just to be safe. And so it is in that spirit of constant political madness and confusion that in Campaign Trail, it's your job to give us your campaign speeches from the following candidates vying for your support in their pursuit of a particular office, post, or platform. Becky Lynn. Yes. You are a Squatty Potty running for a position on the As Seen on TV Board of Directors.
Remember when the Miracle Mop was introduced in 1990 to ease the frustration of mop bringers everywhere? Let me start over. Sorry. Remember when the Miracle Mop was introduced in 1990 to ease the frustration of mop bringers everywhere? Mir. I call Miracle Mir for short. Mir was a revolutionary. Then, Showtime Rotisserie and Barbecue came on the scene and shone bright and hot, allowing latchkey kids to finally make use of their after-school time and contribute to their household. And Showtime, well, he taught us the most memorable tagline ever, to set it and Forget it. And now me, the ultimate bathroom buddy for elder millennials that chronically suffer through a battle of wits with their GI tracts. I have my eyes, or feet rather, set on new sights. I am what this board needs to keep the as seen on TV train a-chuggin'. My opponent, OxyClean, will tell you that he is a visionary, but can you really trust a product that is rumored to have murdered Willie Mays? If you elect me, your trusty pal, Squatty Potty, I promise to never let you down. Except like when you want down, but you could just step off. Like that's how I work. Yeah. Anyways, this message has been approved by me, Squatty Potty.
Thank you, Becky. Oh, yeah. I just got back into the world of the. Not that anybody needs to know, but I tried Squatty Potty a long time ago. Was not impressed.
Really?
Back on board.
You got to relax your butt.
I mean, maybe I've just got a tense sphincter. Sorry. You don't want.
It's for elder millennials. You might have just aged out, Gen X.
Oh yeah. I guess so. Fuck. Oh, all right. Well, I'm gonna go home and cry.
Gen X, you guys don't even have Heartstool anymore.
Well, moving on.
I was joking, but you thought about it for far too long.
No, it's inconsistent at best.
Anyway,
Luke Soin. Let's hear your campaign speech. You're a gunshot wound running for sheriff of the holes on a body.
There's a lot of holes in this episode, Jesse.
Were there? Yeah. Oh, yeah, wrong. Okay. I don't know. I was.
It's all right. I mean, I did what I could. It's going to be weird. All right. All right. Salutations to my dear holes, pores, and other such orifices of the town of Rick Stevenson. It is an honor to address you all here today. My name is Gunshot Hole, and I'm only about 4 hours old. Now, we may be lying here in a hospital, but one thing is clear to me. Even though I'm a newcomer here to these parts, this town has been lawless for far. Sorry, I hope you didn't hear that. My text message went off. Now, this town has been lawless for too long. Some of you holes are getting a little too much traffic, mainly food holes. Mm-hmm. Hell, I wouldn't even be here if it hadn't been for you and all the time you done spent the other type of hole, the glory hole. Now we all enjoy a nice glory hole from time to time, but it must be said, balance is key. I aim to restore balance. One dick here or there, but within reason. I say we add some kale to that hole, some kombucha. I know Butthole would appreciate that. If Food Hole hadn't taken us down to the red light district and run up the tab at that couldn't be accounted for. I mean, Food Hole done run out our neighboring town, Sharon Stevenson. That was a good town. I don't know. My time is limited here because the doctor said I'll be here for about a month or two, and then I will evaporate and be gone. But in that small amount of time, I want to clean up this here town and maybe get our neighboring town, Sharon Stevenson, to come back and trade holes with us again. From what I hear, that was a wonderful and bountiful town of holes. It's like this town used to be. Mm-hmm. Vote for me, Gunshot Hole. I'm sorry.
No, it's my fault for apparently making this show chock full of holes. I didn't realize. Thank you, Luke. Welcome. Have you heard the show? Have you seen this? Okay, well, awesome. It's a great time.
Did you walk in the middle of that one?
Yes. Yeah. You were introduced to us by a series of Sharon's holes. Well, yeah. Yes, but the neighboring town that's since moved away.
Yes.
Okay. We're in camp. They're giving campaign speeches as these things. You'll get it. We'll get into the next segment soon, so it won't even matter. What matters is Tyler. Let's hear your speech. Here's a reference that, again, nobody in attendance is going to have any idea of. You're a claymation raisin who wasn't a member of the California Raisins running for president of the Animated Characters Union.
Okay. So this is off mic.
Okay.
He doesn't realize he's on mic.
Okay.
He's off. I don't appreciate the condescension. Please stop mocking me, Mr. Peanut. We all can't look so dapper. I'm super wrinkly. I get it. I was stuck at the bottom of the box and I couldn't dance my way out. So I spent some time in a trash can before being shaken loose. And now my wife rolls me around in a little wheelchair made from a Monopoly piece. And I look like a little bit of dog poo. I get it. It's an absurd image. But I'm here to do the... And then some guy says, "You're live, Mr. Raisin." Right? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, talking animals, animate foodstuffs. I realize I can't dance. I realize I'll never be a soulful, singing sales great, but I've been blessed with other talents. I'm a whiz at PowerPoint. The whole Microsoft suite, really. Excel. Don't even get me started. We all know what happens when there's incorrect auto-populating on a spreadsheet. Toucan Sam is serving time in bird jail for his accounting errors. Never send a bird to do a shriveled grape job. I always say. I say that. That's something I say. Let's see. What else? I never injected heroin, and I can't say the same for 3/4 of the California Raisins. And along those lines, a video will never surface that shows me engaged in a wrinkly raisin blowbag. So vote for me, the scandal-free, happily married, spreadsheet-focused, albeit deformed and ultimately inedible raisin.
Thank you. Yeah. We'll move on so that you'll understand. That was Campaign Trail. Let's get on to segment 4. It's Angry Poems. Very simple. It's one of the simplest prompts that I could find. Anger is great fuel for creativity. I know I can't make art for shit if I'm happy. That's why I'm always a grump, because I like to be productive. No other reason. Just the love of creating. So why not show us just how much a little spark of rage can get your juices flowing here and write an angry poem about it? Go on and emote the hell out of some stuff with your angry poems about these following subjects. I didn't need to repeat that. Doesn't matter. Let's get started. Becky, let's hear your angry poem. I'm sorry. About puce.
Let me preface this by saying that, like, I truly didn't even know the color puce was a word. And I worked in retail for a long time. Putrid puce. I hate you so. Your hue makes me so mad. Before today, I didn't know of all the rage I had. Your reddish brown is that of old and crusty blood that covers my now shattered favorite coffee mug. Putrid puce, you are the worst. You've ruined my good day. My shoes, my floors, my favorite cup. I wish you'd go away.
All right.
It's cute.
Yeah. I was going to say it's more sad than angry. But puce will do that.
I don't see much of a difference in the two.
Sure. And you know, I usually try and rhyme these. I think I stepped a little off the curb. So we've had an angry poem about puce. Luke Soin, let's hear your angry poem about goose.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways to go with this. This is what I did. Goose, why are you dead? We bailed out of that jet and you hit your head. Mm-hmm. Painting that canopy of our cockpit red. I could kick you with my brand new kid. Now I have to pilot an F-14 with some fresh cadet, some stupid-ass teen. He thinks he's hot shit, probably has a tiny-ass dick. Probably can't run fast like me. I run the best, everyone can see. I do it in every one of my fucking movies. I ride motorcycles like a pro. How could you die? You were my bro. Now I'm stuck teaching classes, re-educating these stupid teen asses. I've even got John Hamm coming along, treating me like a huge ding-dong. But I'll show him and I'll teach those teens, and we'll beat that nameless country from the brand new movie so that politics remains less bumpy. I am Tom Cruise writing as Pete Maverick, and though I'm a Scientologist, I'm not a dick.
All right.
I don't know.
Thank you. I thought that was a direction it could have gone. And apparently I didn't pay enough attention in my barely glancing at the first Top Gun movie when I'd never watched it in full and I haven't seen the second one, to know that his first name is Pete.
Oh, I think Top Gun is a bad movie.
Do you? Let's move on then.
What?
Sorry.
Thank you, Luke. Thank you. So we've had angry poems about puce. We've had angry poems about use. Just go with it. Tyler, let's hear your angry poem about obtuse.
So full disclosure, this is pretty low effort.
That'll get us back on track for time.
All right, obtuse. You dull chanteuse. Your angle so wide as to not be of any use. More than 90 degrees, but less than 180. As a concept, you disgust me, like a baby with rabies. Annoyingly insensitive or slow to understand is how you are defined. But I'd be inclined to be more unkind. You're not acute, and you're not attractive. I would not even invite you to taste the sweat that my sack gives. You say I've overstepped, irrationally angry at a concept. That I won't accept until I see that you've wept at the hands of... This is real bad. At the hands of my abuse, I want to stomp you like a death moose. I ran out of time.
There we go. Good old punch out. Don't worry, guys. We're almost done. You can go to an air-conditioned space. Segment 5. Oh, this is a perfect segment for a room full of people that have never heard the previous 330 episodes. Yeah, it's that many. I'm not shitting you. Almost 10 years. Why? Segment 5, it's erotic letters to the editor. If there's a topic that more than 5 or 6 people might care about, there's a magazine dedicated to specifically that thing. And if there's one thing I know about people obsessing over very specific niche things, it's that they are often very aroused by them. How do I know this? Shut up. In erotic letters to the editor, you're asked to write a steamy letter to the editor. Almost got it. You're asked to write a steamy letter to the editor. Oh, still stumbled. Of these following real, cannot emphasize that enough, real publications. Becky Lynn, let's hear your erotic letter to the editor of Meditation Magazine.
Dear you, you know who you are. Clear your mind of all thoughts. Deep breaths in and out, in and out. Imagine you're in a dungeon. Not like a medieval dungeon, like a sex dungeon with like whips and chains and stuff. But still be like really zen about it. Relax. Breathe in through your mouth and out through your nose. Keep your mind empty. But like also let it wander. Don't let it wander outside of the dungeon though. That's where the fun stuff is gonna happen eventually, I think. Once I decide what it is. Keep breathing deeply. Great. Now that I have your attention, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
God damn it.
It's an urgent matter. As the warranty will expire soon, please contact me as soon as possible to renew.
I mean, to some, that is an exquisite dungeon. So that's that's fine. It still works. Becky Lynn, so wonderful. How can people enjoy more Becky in their lives outside of this program?
Oh, well, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Oh That's Becky. You can check out an extended link of my stand-up in my link tree on my Instagram or on my website at ohthat'sbecky.com. I also post all my upcoming shows. That's in my link tree. And it might be on my website, but if it's not, definitely on my link tree.
Sure.
That's all.
Well, awesome. Thank you, Becky. Good to have you back, Mom. Oh,
thanks for having me. This is fun.
Yeah, always enjoy having you around. Luke Soin, let's hear your erotic letter to the editor of, again, I looked it up. I could have bought a subscription. Your erotic letter to the editor of Practical Pigs.
Well, I just want to preface this by saying I didn't run out of time, wink, wink. I was appalled at the subject matter, and I refused to write. No, I wrote, I'm going to riff this.
Go
and
for
it's
it.
Going to be, okay, I apologize. Dear editor of Practical Pigs, I recently experienced a rendezvous with a celebrity. I don't know if you've heard, but Kermit and Miss Piggy have split, and I was there to pick up the pieces. She was alone at a bar in NoHo. I saw her, or rather heard her from across the room, when someone tried to ask her for an autograph. And she said, "Hi!" Immediately I was aroused. Woman of such strength and conviction, and that blonde hair. How did a pig grow blonde hair? I'll never know. This is where my letter ended.
All right. No,
But I approached her.
Oh.
I'm gonna make this part up.
All right. You could have. I'm gonna give you the opportunity. Everybody who here was enjoying How Did a Pig Grow Blonde Hair. You could end. But look, if you want to go.
This really happened.
Okay.
Let the man come, Jesse.
I'm just just trying to edge Luke Soin's set here.
I guess I'll have to go to lemonparty.com. Is that a reference? All right. All right. Let's see. So I came over and I bought her a drink. I said, "Was that man bothering you?" And she said, "Why, yes, he was." And I said, well, at least he wasn't a frog. And she said, "I hate frogs. How did you know?" I was like, and I had read the TMZ article, but I feigned ignorance. And so I began talking about movies that I thought she had been in.
Okay.
I said, "Miss Piggy, I loved you in Titanic." And she said, "You thought that was moi?" I said, "Why, yes. Wasn't that you were being drawn by Leonardo DiCaprio?" And she curled up her nose and said, "Maybe." And then we went back to my place and we banged. It was great. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, I was in the wrong, trying to keep you from sharing that impression with the world. That was such a good. I didn't expect such a good Miss Piggy from Luke Soin. So there it is. Luke, how can people get more Luke Soin in their lives?
Do they want it at this point?
What?
I mean,
yeah, clearly.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if there's no shows at Stab on certain Thursdays of the month, you can come to Corner House Comedy. Actually, when you come to Corner House Comedy on August 18th or September 22nd in my backyard, what you can do is you log into Twitch on your phone and you just ignore the comics and you watch whatever's on Stab. You do that. And you can also subscribe to Epic Tiki on YouTube. I haven't made a video in like over a year, but I will again someday. Yeah. Otherwise, I do stand up. Follow me on Instagram at Luke Soin. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, Luke. Good to have you back. Been too long. Tyler, what do you say we wrap up this episode? But before we do, give you this this chance in vain to let people know where they can find more Tyler Kinney.
There's a bunch of songs I recorded in my shed on my iPhone on SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear a sad drunk guy,
acoustic.
Yeah. Well, there's some electric in there. Yeah.
You can really do a lot on a phone these days. like
GarageBand.
So it's Not a Mess is the title of my band, which is just me. Because I'm not a mess, guys.
Not a mess. That, or you can enjoy Tyler on basically one in every 4 or 5 Stab episodes if I schedule things properly. So yeah, there's probably like 35 of those by who knows. Well, Tyler, let's wrap up this episode so I can let Spencer and Camp Wanderlust get in here. Let's hear your erotic letter to the editor of How It Works magazine.
So these are actual titles of articles, just to do for context. Dear editor of How It Works magazine, I never thought it would happen to me. I was just going to go into the neighbor's yard to collect an errant frisbee when I saw Mrs. Anderson bent over a flower pot. In her smoker's rasp, she said, "You want to know what's inside the Statue of Liberty?" "Ooh, you naughty 11 to 15-year-old boy," she said. Seriously, that's exactly what she said. "I guess I kind of do," I replied. And she said, "Or maybe, what is house dust made of?" All sultry, despite the phlegm. House dust? I don't know. Hair mostly? I thought out loud. "Hey, big boy, what is red lightning?" "I've never heard of it. Is that real?" "Golly, I don't know, Mrs. Anderson. I just wanted to get my Frisbee and your robe has come undone, so I'm just going to go." "Crocodiles versus alligators," I heard her shout desperately over my shoulder. "Why is jelly wobbly?" she sputtered as I shut the gate. Geez, Mrs. Anderson really does know a lot of fun stuff about how things work that is likely to entice 11 to 15-year-old readers, I mean neighbors. She is a journalistic resource to the science education community. Oh, I give up. It's me, the editor-in-chief of How It Works magazine, Gary Tenuto. And I'm fucked, guys. The internet is fucking us. You can just Google this shit now. Any dumb half thought you have and just boom. Please just describe. Maybe it's not going to be horny, but it'll be kind of interesting sometimes. You can find out cool facts about Zeppelins. I don't know. I'm fucked, you guys.
I didn't even think about that. Poor editor. Oh, I got to make sure I'm over here so I wrote it. I might as well read it. Here we go. Holding for edit. And Stab is over. Thank you all for joining us, and of course a special thank you to our fantastic panel, Becky Lynn, Luke Soin, and Tyler Kinney. Now, if you want to catch the Stab Show live as it happens, you can do that in one of two ways. Either in person at Stab Comedy Theater, or from the comfort of your own home on Stab TV on Twitch. Either way, make it 7 p.m. on a Friday, and it's yours. Or if you'd rather take the show on the go with you, you can get this or any of the other, yes, seriously, 330 episodes via the podcast outlet of your choice, be it Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, or the Good Pods app. Either way, that's all we have for you tonight, folks. I've been your host, Jesse Jones, and I know I wrote a different out to this, but it's not on the page. You guys are great. Have a good night. All right. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, guys. Leave it.
Leave it? Can I set it on the...
Sure, why not?
Here's my stand.
You're fine. I was
Here,
just...
I'll set it on the chair. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Put it in the puddle. Good seeing you guys. Bye.
Sir, I gotta let you guys go so we can get the next show ready. Thanks for coming out, you guys. If you want to stick around, we'll give you some upgrades, or just join us another night. Whatever you want to do. Good night, Becky. Yeah, you gotta run too. Everybody's gotta run. I've got to set up the next thing. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Camp Wanderlust will begin in, let's call it 10 minutes, or as quickly as I can turn the stage over. So hold on, and we'll be back. Hang out, online audience, in-person audience. We'll see you in a few.
Some sweat hog mama with a face like a jet said, "Get up and go, Mr. Got up and went." You got good news, but you're a real good liar, 'cause your backstage lover set your pants on fire.
Everything's going wrong.
Yes, it did. Took you just a little too far. Telling other things, but your girlfriend lied. Can't catch me cause your rabbit done died. Yes, it did. Standing in front just shaking your act. Take you backstage, you can drink from my glass. Talk about something you can sure understand. Cause a month on the road and I'll be eating from your hand.
We started living in an old house. Mama gave birth and we were checking it out. It was a baby boy, so we bought him a toy. It was a ray gun, and it was 1981. We named him Baby. He had a toothache. He started crying. It sounded like an earthquake. It didn't last long because I stopped it. I grabbed a rag doll, stuck some little pins in it. Now we're a family, and we're all right now. We got money and a little place to fight now. We don't know you, and we don't know you. But if you see us around, I got something else to show you. Now it's easy when you don't know better. You think it's sleazy, then put it in a short letter. We keep warm, but there's just something wrong with you. Just feel that you're the hardest little button to button. I had an opinion that didn't matter. I had a brain that felt like pancake batter. I got a backyard with nothing in it except a stick, a dog, and a box with something hardest button to button. The hardest button to button. The hardest button to button. The hardest button to button. Oh. The hardest button to button. The hardest button to button. Oh. The hardest button to button. The hardest button to button.
Welcome to the Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for Camp Wanderlust. Please welcome to stage your host, Spencer Salins.
That's me! Howdy doodly, everybody. How we doing? Welcome to Stab. Welcome to Stab, everybody. Welcome to Camp Wanderlust. It's good to see you all. Good to see you all. My name is Spencer Salins. This is Camp Wanderlust. This is a storytelling show. We got comedians doing a bunch of different stories. We got scary stories, silly stories, happy stories. Who knows? It's a storytelling show. We're gonna have a great time. All right. And for the three people here that are enjoying this show is for you guys tonight. Okay. All right. We're gonna be really intimate. I'm just gonna be staring at you the whole show. Like I can't tell you how much this crazy story changed my life. No, but anyway, it's gonna be a good time. I got some of my favorite comics in town on the show. A lot of fun. Some of them host. Two of them host open mics here. Two of them are. Anyway, starting off strong. Good job, Spencer. Woo! All right, liquid courage. No, but I think it's actually fitting for me to be taking a sip of my beer as I tell this story, because this is a story about when I got a DUI when I was 19 years old. And eventually, and part of the night, hold on, let's just go back. So, I was 19, making real good decisions, driving around town with my friends. We were leaving like some bonfire, and I don't know if you guys have ever like had to have friends that just didn't really care about anything, they just needed a ride. So we're driving back. I got a 5-seater car. One of the seats is broken, so it's a 4-seater. I got 7 people in the car, 2 in the trunk, 5 in the regular portion. So needless to say, we're riding a little dirty, so to speak. Okay, I mean, we have the back is like, these are some heavy set dudes in my trunk too. So it's like the back is kind of like this. It's like an inch off the ground to where it's almost scraping. You just have like this trail of sparks behind you. So I guess what I'm trying to say is very inconspicuous, I think, as I'm driving around. But so we're driving to like, I think we're going to like Denny's or something like that. Again, making very good decisions. All right, we're going to Denny's, and eventually we get pulled over. And so we get pulled over. Of course, I'm 19, so even if I was, 0.01, I'm still going to jail, which is exactly what happened. And so I blew over 0, and I get arrested. So as they're taking me into the car, I'm a big guy now. At that point in time, I was about 360 pounds, so of straight muscle, obviously. Okay? Don't you dare laugh. How dare you, Maddie? No, but yeah, I was a big dude, so and not very nimble. Not very nimble. So like, has anyone ever been in the back of a police car? There you go. 2 people. Okay, 2 people. It's not very roomy. Period. Like even if you're like 5'9", you're still not gonna have leg room. It's bad. So I try to get in regular style. Like I'm trying to just get in like this, and I can't like get in at all. So I got a big brain move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of like spin and kind of like fall back into it. So what I do is I plant, twist, out comes my, I tear my ACL, like right in front of the cop car. So I crumble to the ground, screaming bloody murder, like, oh, fuck! And then the cops are just like looking at each other like, what do we do? And what they do is they call the CHP to come actually do the booking. They're like, we don't want to actually deal with this guy. And to this day, right after that, I have done to this day like the most badass thing I've ever done, because one of the cops said like, we got to get this kid to a hospital, and I don't have really good health insurance, so I'm like, no hospitals, and I just what I thought like popped it back in. It wasn't a pop in out situation, made it a lot worse, but it was very badass, and I was able to get into the cop car and then basically sob my way to jail. It was very fun. I don't know. I'll give you a little tip in case you guys are ever in the back of a cop car trying to figure out how you can get out of this. Telling the cops that you're thinking about joining the Navy, they're not going to let you out. They're not. I thought in my mind, like, well, maybe this guy, these are, sailors. They're former sailors. Maybe they'll let me out. Didn't work. Anyway, so we get to jail, and as we're in the jail, I'm hearing like some room, like we get into the drunk tank, which is basically like it's all concrete except for one-way mirror, where there's people like you can hear the cops like talking about you, talking shit, and like laughing at you and playing music the whole night. It's great. It's very keeps up the spirits, if you will. But some of the other inmates in there, or whatever the fuck you call them, in the room with me, when I walked in there, they were like giving me weird looks and like whispering amongst themselves a little bit. I was kind of confused, but I thought maybe it was just like, oh, look at this fat kid, like ha ha, like I thought that was maybe it. So like, all right, oh well. I mean, jail's probably another place that you'd bully somebody, right? Right, exactly. All right, people love getting bullied in jail. No, but apparently, so I didn't really have much to think about it though, so it just kind of escaped my mind, and I'm trying to just kind of kill time because I'm there all night, killing time, just waiting. Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. So anyway, I'm in jail right now in this story, okay? And there's a rumor going about, and so the rumor, I found out why they were all whispering amongst each other, and apparently. Earlier that evening, someone had been arrested that looked a lot like me, that had been accused of like heinous sexual crimes against children. Like, and no, that's not the funny part. But I didn't know about this, and so I'm in the corner of the drunk tank, just minding my own business, and these guys, like gangbanger dudes, like come up to me and they start like trying to accost me, like, "Hey, motherfucker, we heard what you like to do. You sick fuck." I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I have no idea. Like, oh, so you like fucking kids, eh, buddy? I'm just like, whoa, guys. Like, you have the completely wrong guy. Like, this is not me at all. What are you talking about? And of course, that's what everyone's going to say when they're about to get the shit kicked out of them, regardless if they did it or not. And so obviously they don't believe me. And I'm literally about I'm thinking I'm literally about to die. Like, they're just going to beat me to death in this jail cell. Because the cops aren't doing shit all night. Like, I saw some guy, like, screaming the whole night about, like, some psych meds that he needed, and he's going to go ape shit. That didn't work. So I don't think they're going to, like, come and rescue me when I'm getting my ass kicked. And so right as they're about to, like, beat the living shit out of me, like an angel from God, the door opens, and in comes a cop leading in a guy who looks exactly like me with like a shitty pedophile mustache. Like, it looks exactly like me with like small glasses, pedophile mustache. And I just like, oh, I'm mixed with emotion. I've never been happy to see an accused pedophile before. But I was like, thank God this guy is here. And so I run up to the cop and I'm like, please, sir, they're going to fucking kill me. Tell them that I am not a fucking pedophile. And he just looks at me and looks at the guys. He's like, no, not him. And then just like walks back, closes the door. And then immediately these three guys just take all their energy, focus it onto this guy. One guy takes his shirt off, covers the security camera, and they end up just beating the shit out of this guy for like what felt like 5 minutes. Probably like maybe 90 seconds, but it was a wild ride. Again, I'm mixed with emotions. I've never been excited to see a pedophile and then have him get beat up in front of me, okay? It's a weird night for me. And so after all that, the cops come in and, like, stop it, leave him alone, blah, 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 blah. And eventually, one of the guys, he comes up to me later in the night, and he's like, hey, man, like, I'm so sorry about the misunderstanding before. It's just that you guys like all look alike. And I was like, is that a white thing or a pedophile thing? I'm not really sure. All right, anyway, ending in the note on pedophiles. What a great job, Spencer. Oh, well. Hey, you guys ready for your next comic of the night? Yeah, all right. Keep it going for your next comic. Brit Beer, everybody.
Hey, y'all, keep it going for Spencer and for yourselves for being out here. Thank you. I realize in this jacket, it's kind of a Chris Farley situation going on. I just can't. So I don't know if we. All right, it stays where it lands. All right, guys. I'm Brit Beer. I love being on this show because it's a storytelling show. I like storytelling because then I feel like I can get away with less punchlines. Okay. So yeah, the theme of it is scary misadventures. So I've just been like racking my brain for like all of the wild things I've been through in my life, and I was like, okay, well, I used to be an elite athlete, and I lacked ties to the U.S. government, and so they called upon me because there was a Russian terrorist group that acquired a chemical. This is just the plot for XXX. What I realized was like, shoot, I haven't lived as adventurous of life as I thought I have, So I was like when Spencer was asking if anyone's been in the back of a police car, I was like, I have. That's because my mom and my stepdad were police officers. So that was take your kid to work day. So I grew up with a really strict upbringing, and like I just feel like I wish I was more rebellious when I was younger. Because it's like if you're a parent, I just say, I know there's all different parenting styles, but I will say just don't be too strict. Okay, because like what happens is everyone has a rebellious period, but if you have strict parents, it just delays the onset of that, right? So then you're making your wild choices later in life, which have later consequences. Like if you're like wilding out when you're 19, that's cool. That's the time to make mistakes, okay? But the first time I did cocaine, I was 32, okay? It's dangerous. I stayed up till 8 a.m. and I missed a dermatology appointment, all right? Okay, so the stories I picked, even like today I was desperate. I was like, I have not lived a wild life. Maybe I'll commit a crime today to have a story. I'm trying to think though of like all the wild things I've done. So I'm going to tell you guys 2 stories. Okay, so the first one is I started comedy here in Sacramento when I was 21. And I had like my first big break where I got asked to sub in for Mark S. Allen had a TV show, Mark at the Movies. So I got asked to sub in, and like I was so excited. My mom and my sister were like, oh my God, you're gonna be on national television. You should wax your mustache. So I used to be a secretary at a little physical therapy office. So I was like, okay, on my lunch break, I'm getting my max waxed. My mustache wax. There we go. It's called spoonerism. And so I went, and when I went to during my lunch break, so I already had, like Walgreens makeup on, which is actually still what I wear right now. And I went during my lunch break. I have really sensitive skin too. And so when I went, the woman too was like, well, you don't just have a mustache. Like we should do your eyebrows and like your peach fuzz. I was like, yeah, do it up. So on my like 30-minute lunch break, I get my face waxed. Immediately, like as I'm back to work, my face starts breaking out like crazy. I had like chicken skin, cysts, like pimples, everything. I even felt like a Klingon because she did my eyebrows. So I felt like I was from Star Trek and just totally raised eyebrows. It was frightening. So I had a week before they were going to fly me to New York City for the first interview. And so I was chugging like 6 Smart water bottles a day. And then not only that, but my sister had her wedding a week after. So I am just chugging water. And it was my first time ever on television. And I remember being in the hotel and looking at myself in the mirror, just like broken out. I was too embarrassed to have their makeup artist do makeup for me. And I just remember crying and my eyes are bloodshot and talking to my mom. And I was just like, all right, just go with it. Luckily, I didn't know at the time that like lights for camera and TV and film are like super bright. So they just wash you out. And so I survived because it was that movie Life as We Know It with Josh Duhamel and is it Katherine Heigl? Anyway, so I interviewed them with like bloodshot eyes and acne, my whole face. And luckily I got a funny story about Josh Duhamel saying he like pooped on his sister's head when he was 5. And but I remember the whole time I had so much anxiety, I couldn't sleep. So I would go to a comedy theater in New York City called the Upright Citizens Brigade. But I had like right? You guys big comedy fans? Yeah. And so I had no money at the time and I didn't know the city. So I would just sprint running and I had so much anxiety from like anxiety and embarrassment. And I was like, well, no one can get me if I'm running. So I just remember running to the comedy show and then running back to my hotel late at night. And I just had this like weird aggression and I would just confront couples having arguments at like 2 a.m. in New York City. Like, is he bothering you, ma'am? Anyways, that's my adventure. But the second story I'm going to tell you is I lived in Nashville for 6 years. So I lived in Sacramento, Chicago, and Nashville. I call it the Triangle of Niceness. And my friend and I, we were both cocktail servers at Zany's. It's a great comedy club. So I worked there so I could listen to stand-up for free every night. But feel for your cocktail servers at comedy clubs because it's a hard job. You're supposed to just go up to people and like whisper them like 25 pickles and then like find them in the dark. It's a tough job. And so my friend and I were cocktail servers there and we looked at our schedules and we're like, oh my God, we both have 4 days off. So we decided to like, let's go to Memphis. So she and I just find an Airbnb. And this was like, I don't know, like 8 years ago. And so we drive to Memphis and we get there like as soon as it's dark. This is the perfect, scariest setting. As soon as we get there, it's like dark and it starts to rain. And then we get a message from the owner of the Airbnb. I'm so sorry, the power just went out. And it's like a 3-story Victorian home in Memphis. So we're like, oh, okay. She's like, and I won't be there when you arrive. We're like, okay. Oh, and so also someone is sleeping upstairs in one of the bedrooms. We're like, okay. So she and I like walk there together. We like go in the house and immediately just has that eerie feeling, right? You just know. So we run back to our car and we're like, should we get somewhere else? And we're like, we don't have enough money to do that. So this will be fine. So we go rummage through her car to find weapons. So we're servers. So I had a butter knife that she had in her purse and she had a wine opener. So we are definitely ready. And she's my friend Jade, who's like a really like popular singer-songwriter in Nashville. And she was also like an influencer at the time. And she still is. So we go into the house and she's like live streaming. So I'm like, at least if we're murdered, like this is a way to go. So if you're ever in a scary place, have an influencer with you, okay? So we're like walking around the house, lights out, 3 stories. We're not even being welcomed in there. We're just like, you know, phone, flashlight, butter knife in hand, walking around. We go in the kitchen and there's like kind of a breakfast display, but there's like a pastry dish on glass and there's like 2 flies like under it, right? Like no one's been there for days. And we're walking around and then we open a door to a bedroom downstairs because it was like multiple people could stay there because we were cheap. And so we open the door and there's just like a Great Dane dog that we see through the middle and then just like trash and clothes all over the room. So we keep walking around. We're like, okay. And then we're like, and there's someone sleeping here upstairs. All we know, he was like British from the UK, so his sleep schedule was weird. And we're walking around. We find the basement. It's the creepiest feeling I've ever come across. And then the weirdest part was at the house, there was a 3-story Victorian dollhouse in the house. Right? And I was like, okay, maybe it's okay to have it. But I was like, this is a grown woman with a dollhouse. That is the biggest red flag I've ever seen. So we go upstairs, and they're like Memphis famous like rooms. So there's like an Elvis Presley room, Aretha Franklin, a Jerry Lawler. So we picked the Aretha Franklin room. And then what happens is we met Elvis's ghost. Not kidding, this is a true story. And then we went bowling with Elvis. And actually at this part, I was planning to just wing it and infuse a story about the first time I ever tried weed. But I feel like I've already gone on too long. So what happened was, this woman turned both my friend and I into paper dolls, and I now live in that house. That's why I dress this way, so this way. Anyways, thank you so much, Spencer, for letting me on your show. I'm Britt Beer. Let's get back up here.
What a courteous handshake that was. I feel so professional. Thank you, Britt. Hell yes. Keep it going for Britt. Yeah! I almost said Brittany. I don't know what I'm going to do. Brittany, oh well. Okay. You guys ready for your next comic? Yeah? What? Are you guys ready for your next comic? Yeah! This is one of my favorites. He's one of the hosts of the open mic here at Stab. Give it up for Corey Behringer, everybody.
Thank you, Spencer, and thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming out to Spencer's show. It's a lot of fun. So, tonight I'm going to tell you the story about how I came out of the closet to my wife. But first, since it's kind of a drug story, I'm going to tell you a drug story. I don't do drugs, plural. I do drugs, singular. You know, I enjoy an edible, you know, a cannabis sort of edible, because I don't care for any sort of smoke type thing. I don't want the flavor as much. That's another thing. I'm tired of people pretending that it smells good or tastes good. It doesn't. It's horse shit. I hate it so much. And I've developed like a revulsion to it too, even to like the edibles. I've gotten to the point now where I can't even do like gummies or anything because it has too strong of a flavor. I have to do the capsules. I can't handle any of the flavor. But even then, I have to be prepared with like a strong beverage that doesn't have any carbonation because of burps. Burps are an issue. Even without the carbonation, if you take the capsule, it releases in your tummy just like a fish pill would, like if you were doing like fish vitamins. So it's revolting. Like I have a hard time keeping it down, but it's worth it because it leads you down some wonderful paths. We'll get to that later. But the first time that I had like a true experience on edibles was with my then girlfriend, later wife. We'll get there. And because she's a lot more kind of into that scene, like she sort of turned me on to it and stuff. So this was probably about 5 years ago, give or take. And we both were on a show together, and we were feeling pretty great about ourselves. You know, we had that nice vibe, and she had some edibles already. So I was like, "Fuck it, let's try this. Let's do this." And it was an incredible sensation. It was incredible until it suddenly wasn't incredible, and that shift happened so fast. To be fair, like we kind of had the odds stacked against me. The lights were out, you know. We were in bed. I'm not going to tell you what we were doing. I don't want to be crude. Give you a hint. I had a boner, but the shift kind of occurred when it occurred to me that I was trapped in a loop of time, because with the lights out, we ceased to be two individuals. And we were just two amorphous gray blobs weaving in and out in one pattern. And then it started, looping in my head that this is all reality is, and it is all reality ever was, and it is all reality ever will be. You are going to die here, but no, you were never alive here. So it was terrifying, honestly. It was a true existential crisis upon existential crisis, But then I noticed some light coming out of the bedroom door. It was open just a crack. And I had it in my head that if I can get to that door and open the door and get out of this room, I can break the spell, so to speak. And I could, live my life. So I mustered up that will, and I got through. I got through the door. And then a new loop started. A loop in my brain, sort of a mantra, set to a specific melody. Are you guys familiar with the Outkast hit single, So Fresh, So Clean? I'll give you a little taste of it. What? Actually, no. If you know it, let's hear you try. Like, can I get the hook of "So Fresh, So Clean"? As dope as me, I'm dressed so fresh, so clean, so fresh and so clean, clean. There we go. I like hearing other people do it. It's great. So for me though, it was write yourself a note that says, "Don't get this high again, don't get this high again." And it was just looping in my head as I'm like trying to like find a piece of paper and a writing utensil. By the way, let's talk a little bit more about Outkast. We'll get back to the story. That song in particular has a line in it that really bothers me. I love the line, but it really bothers me. In it, Andre 3000 says, "I love who you are. I love who you ain't. You're so Anne Frank. Let's hide up in the attic for about 2 weeks." I don't want to tell anyone how to do their job, but just because something kind of rhymes doesn't mean you have to say it. Like, it's such a strange line. You're so Anne Frank. I get the pun. It's not a very good pun. Most puns aren't good, by the way. Let's stop pretending puns are good. That's just sort of a comedy complaint I have. So, I find a writing utensil and I find a blank envelope. And I get on the floor, because of course, and I start writing this note to myself. And at the time, my girlfriend and I were living with some roommates. And our roommate's cat recently had kittens. And so where my girlfriend found me in the living room was in my underwear, nothing but my underwear, scrawling furiously this note, surrounded by baby kittens who were very curious about what was going on. So it was quite a scene. And I tried it like a couple more times after that, but it was a pretty long gap before I kind of got the hang of it, so to speak. And I tried a number of different things. Like, I looked up sort of the methods to control a trip, and one of the things I saw was to remind yourself of the stone cold fact that no one has ever OD'd on marijuana. It hasn't happened. It never will happen, which is sound advice unless you have a pretty strong opinion of yourself. Because I tried that trick, and I was telling myself, no one has ever OD'd on marijuana. And I'm going to be the first. It's going to be me they're going to write about in the book. They're going to put my picture right there. It can happen to you too, So flash forward a little bit. My now wife and I are living without roommates, which is wonderful. If you haven't done it, must try it. It's nice to have sex and not know that everyone's hearing you. It's just a little perk of solidarity. So we're in our own place, and I came out to her after I got high and I watched The Pebble and the Penguin. Has anyone here seen The Pebble and the Penguin? We got a couple pebble heads in the crowd. I love it. I love it. For any of you who haven't seen The Pebble and the Penguin, this is an animated musical comedy from the mid-90s that tells the tale of an effeminate little penguin who's madly in love with a lady penguin. Yeah, it's adorable. And he goes on this epic quest home to deliver his lady penguin a pebble so he can have sex with her. That's what the plot of the film is. I didn't make it up. Take it up with Don Bluth. But he's joined on this incredible journey by a boy penguin who he has quite a bit of sexual tension with. Or at least that's what my stony brain told me. And I believe my stony brain. And the whole movie is set to original songs by Barry Manilow. And Tim Curry's the villain. You couldn't make it gayer if you tried. It's perfect. I love it so much. And before I saw this movie, I had a lot of reservations over whether or not I should ever come out, to my wife, let alone myself, because I'd only ever been with women my whole life. I only plan on being with this one woman now, So I had these very legitimate concerns of not wanting to take up space in a community I didn't belong in, and taking up an identity I didn't earn, But then I saw this movie, and it occurred to me that, hey, if that fruity little penguin can marry a lady penguin and still be queer as hell, so can I. And so can you. This is a teachable moment. It's funny. Oh, wait. There's a little more to the story. I was about to transition. We're not going to transition yet. I got more to the story. So I'm not telling her any of this stuff as I'm watching the movie, because I'm way up in my head about it, But then the credits roll, and I turn to her and I say, it's actually pretty cool. This movie made me realize how bi I am. And she's like, are you telling me that you're bi? I was like, yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. And she took a beat, and then she said, okay, I love my bi husband. And immediately I was filled with relief, because it was quite a vulnerable moment, But then there was a long silence, like a pause that felt like an eternity. And then she got up to leave. She started to walk out of the living room, but then she stopped, turned around, and she said, just to be clear, you're not just gay for penguins, right? That's how I knew we were going to be okay. It's wild how sudden that shift happened, though, between, my fears of being perceived as an interloper and then to where I am now. It was like the matter of like a week. Like, it was real quick. Like a week later, I was just proclaiming things to my wife from a place of authority. Like, honey, Scooter from the Muppets is a bi icon, and I will not defend myself. Just look at him. Actually, I think all of the Muppets are pan. Especially Gonzo. That guy's up for whatever. I was raised by conservative Christians. They did not expect any of their sons to come out as queer. But 2 out of 3 of them did. Because to paraphrase their favorite Christian cliche, the Lord works in fabulous ways. I think my father especially didn't want any of his sons to come out as queer. And I know this because he would do this thing when we were watching TV as a family, where whenever there was a gay couple kissing, he would make a big show of how disgusted he was, because he wanted to instill that in his straight sons. This is a disgusting thing. But here's the dumb part. He would also do that same reaction when 2 ladies kissed. And me and my brothers were like, what are you, gay? This is amazing. Because I think we can all agree, like, for straight people, 2 chicks kissing is like the straightest gay thing available. I think we gotta take what we got, It's like, why aren't you on board with this? You homo? I don't know. So, yeah, I mean, I was raised conservative Christian, though, and I learned a lot about God growing up. Do you guys know who God is? Do we know God? He invented a lot of pretty cool stuff, admittedly. And we're still talking about it to this day. Majestic sunsets, that was his. Fridays, and we're constantly thanking him for that one. What else did he come up with? Oh, yes, giving cancer to children. That was his idea. Yeah. Not a lot of people like to talk about that one, but that was his idea. I wonder if there was like 2 angels in heaven. There must have been some angels that were like, this is kind of bullshit, right? What's going on here? Like, I picture one angel to the other. Hey, Michael. Oh, this is a gun, by the way. I was raised by conservative Christians, so I picture angels holding rifles. That's just how they are in my head. So, like, hey, Michael. Yeah, what's up? Have you heard about cancer? Yeah. What about it? Well, did you know that kids can get it too? What? Yeah, no shit. Kids can get it too. And here's the thing: there's no cure. Well, there is a cure, but God's decided that it's not profitable for pharmaceutical companies. And you know how he loves the free market, so there's just no cure. If the kid gets cancer and he wants to live, he has to pray. And he has to convince his friends and loved ones to pray. And sometimes, and by sometimes I mean most of the time, God just kills him anyway. Damn, said the second angel. At least he gave him Fridays. I had a hard time wrapping my head around that when I was a kid. The whole death thing. specifically with kids, because I had a close family friend. She was basically a cousin to me. And when I was about 9, she passed away from cancer. So I asked the grown-ups. I went to them and I asked, if God loves us, why does he kill us? And that was the first time that I heard the real cliche in full, the Lord works in mysterious ways. That really bothered me. Even as a little kid, that really bothered me. Because I don't think that God should get to use the same excuse as magicians. You see, magicians work really hard. They've honed their craft. And most of them don't murder children. Some magicians probably murder children. But, I don't want to, split hairs on this. I hope you enjoyed some of that. I hope you enjoy the rest of the show even more. Give it up for your host, Spencer. Bye-bye.
Corey Behringer, everybody. My baby sister was murdered by a magician. How dare you? All right. Hey, your next comic of the night, he's got his own show here. It's called Willie Listen, one of my favorites. Keep it going for Willie Travis, everybody.
One more time. Do it again. Do it again. Now a third time. Yeah. Yes. All right. We can keep going. Let's place this right here because I'm a professional. Hold on. It looks like I'm wearing a blouse. Sorry. Give it up for your host, Spencer, man. Yeah. Doing this thing here. Making it awesome. How is Spencer blacker than me? I've never been arrested. I have been in the back of a cop car, though. I have done that. A few friends of mine back in Jersey, we decided to go to White Castle because that's what you did in the year 2006. You went to White Castle. You watched White Castle. You watched Harold and Kumar do their thing, and then you went and viewed. I don't think you guys had White Castles out here, did you? No? I'm so sorry to hear that. It was great, man. We were going to White Castle. Everything's going well. Long story short, find out that my buddy's license was expired. So we got pulled over like maybe 25 miles outside of White Castle, 4 of us. So we pretty much did the logical thing and we walked 25 miles to White Castle. Because we were already, the movie already started, all right, we're going to White Castle. We're walking on the freeway and everything, just being real smart about our decisions. And there's not a lot of comedy to this story. It's more facts than anything. It's crazy. I was saying, Spencer, like, I don't know how you're blacker than me. I was built to look intimidating. All right, was built in a lab. All right, I look like, folks don't mess with me because I look like I'll just bop you on the head like I'm Grape Ape. Grape Ape also has to be 2 of my favorite things: grape flavor and ape meat. Delicious ape meat. If you haven't indulged. This is crazy, man. You gotta shake it out, guys. You gotta get it out there. I stutter. I don't know if you guys know anybody that stutters in like real life. So, all right, you there it is. You know someone who stutters, and now you know me. I stutter. All right. Not too many people know how to talk to people that stutter, and I get that. I understand that. All right. And I personally stutter on things as simple as my name, right? Willie. All right. I call that my rev unit. I rev those up. right? My R's, my W's. I gotta rev them. And, you know, with that, I'll stutter on my name sometimes, right? You know, some people don't know how to accept that. You know, these are the people that we call foghorn leghorns. Right? They ask me my name, I start stuttering. I say your name, son, your name. I asked you your name. He's a good kid. I say good kid. He's about as bright as a broken light bulb in a closed dumpster. You're gonna have to work with me, man. It's crazy, you know. I've always stuttered as long as I could remember. You know, I used to always feel bad for my mom's boyfriends. You know, they get stuck talking to me. You know, I was at that age where like I was just starting to like, you know, like become more perceptive. And yeah, those poor men, you know, it's just like, it's all right, buddy. I'm getting tired. And it's almost bedtime, pal. I'm gonna get through it. Around the start of COVID, I lost a side tooth. I lost one of my side teethuses. Either way, it's gone. Got rid of it. I had a lifelong battle with gummy worms, and you know, it's tough, man. I continue to go onto dating apps though, because you know how much charisma you have to pull off the side tooth missing. Hey, folks gotta fucking love you, man. You know, and I get it. All right, so that's why in my dating profile, you know, I like, you know, made sure that my picture was showing my imperfections. Right, I type it into the bio. You know, it's emotionally insecure, dad bod, I stutter, toothless. You know, let it be known. Right, surprisingly, like some women didn't like that. They're like, "You're taking the fun out of everything, pal." I was trying to meet you. You were handsome. Like, bitch. No, I didn't say that to all of them. It's crazy. I tried acid on 3 different occasions. Acid's pretty cool. I heard a drug addict out there. My first time trying acid was pretty crazy. I had went back home to my home state of Mississippi, and if you don't know where Mississippi is, it's about 200 years that away. If you don't, you need to know. But I go back home, all right, and I meet up with a young lady friend of mine. We get back together. She says that she's gonna get some acid. This is my first time trying acid, so I put my life into her hands. I trust her. Get home. She picks me up from the airport, right? I brought these weed chocolates. Those were yummy, delicious. We down those. We're still not feeling anything, right? And so she pulls out the acid. She's all like, all right, we're gonna do it now. And we're gonna do 4 tabs each. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you are like aware, I saw your face there, you're all like, that sounds like plenty. That sounds like plenty of acid. Yeah, it was quite overkill, pal. So we dropped the acid, and it's just a night of terror. You know, like we're watching Overwatch videos, yeah. And the screen, like the TV starts permeating, right? It's like vibrating. I'm like, oh man, this is This is crazy. Again, not a lot of comedy to this one. It's more factual than anything. It was a bad trip that night, though. I got really scared. I was in Mobile, Alabama, by the way. Yeah, not a place for skin tone. But that's where I was, and my young lady friend gave me the impression that she was calling one of her uncles to come and take care of some business. And everything just turns dark in the entire living room, right? Nothing but the warm glow of her rainbow keyboard. It did the little thing. That was like my beacon of safeness, right? And everything's looming over me. It's insane. And she's playing this voicemail of this guy, and he's all like, "You still want me to come over and handle that thing for you?" And I'm like, fuck, am I gonna die here? You know, no one knew that I was there. I made the smart decision to go do 4 tabs of acid, and no one knew where I was. And I was kind of concerned. But, we did the acid, and it was a long trip. Very weird trip. I remember the pizza person coming, and she was a lot more experienced in drugs than I was, so she handled the pizza person, and while she's at the door, I'm behind making sure, is everything all right? And yeah, I don't recommend 4 tabs of acid, sir. I saw you thinking about it. Don't recommend it. That was the first time. The second time I tried acid, it was the same week that our new roommate had just moved in. It was that weekend, actually. And I thought that she was there right that weekend. Turns out she wasn't there that weekend. And my one roommate was gone for the week as well. So I'm like, all right, I'm alone. It's all right. I'll drop 2 tabs of acid. That's what I'll do. I'm doing it because I'm an adult. That's what I want to do. And I do it, but I don't know that my roommate's not there. I'm thinking that she's there and she's kind of becoming acclimated to the place. So I'm thinking she's in her room. And, I really thought this because I'm hearing little knocks and things on the window and stuff, and the little, the wall next to our rooms. And I'm all like, okay, she must be in there. She's, doing her thing. And I just go downstairs, and, it had been an hour maybe. And then I'm on the couch, and I don't know what it's called, but there's this thing when you do acid. I don't know if everyone does it, but you kind of spaz out. Hardcore, and then you come back into consciousness, and you're all I learned something from that. And I sat there on the couch staring at the stuffed animals on top of our TV, and I was doing that for 45 minutes because I was expecting my roommate that just moved in to pop her head out of the stuffed animals as I'm sitting there on the couch. It never happened. And that's about that. The third time that I indulged in the acid arts, I went back home to Mississippi once more. I decided to surprise my mom. I was all like, I'm a surprise mom. Show up, and I'm gonna do some acid as well. Now, it sounds weird, all right? All my mom does is just kind of sit back, and she just watches Family Feud all day, all right? So yeah, that's perfect acid dropping atmosphere, I'm sitting right next to mom. I can sink into the couch, no problem. I go back home. My pal says that he can get me some pretty tame acid. I'm like, all right, sweet. Tame acid sounds good. You know what I mean? That sounds, this is my third time. I don't want to freak the fuck out, man. Not again. So he picks me up from the airport. He gives me the tame acid. I'm like, all right, sweet. I'll drop it now. We're like an hour and a half from the house. We pull up to my house. I'm expecting to surprise my mom. Surprise, hey mom, hug. Then we both, watch Steve Harvey in his suit, right? We pull up to the house. My mom's throwing like a full-on yard sale barbecue and church dinner. I don't know what was going on, but there was a lot of traffic going on throughout that house. So I'm a little concerned at this point. I get out the car. My pal says, good luck. And he drives off into a portal. The portal closes. I'm a little more concerned at this point. I'm like, all right, I got to walk down the side of the house. I can't go through the front door. It's packed to high heaven. I go down the side of the house. I'm dodging people. I'm, shaking them. And I come across my sister, right? My sister stops me. I'm all like, okay, I can get through this. And she's telling me what's going on, why my mom is doing all this stuff. And I'm all like, all right, yeah. And, she continued to talk to me. As she continues to talk, the closed captions come on below her. And I'm trying to keep up with the closed captions and like her. And I'm like, yes. Yeah, I got tired of the closed captions. I turned those off and I start turning her ears. I'm like, I gotta turn you up, sis. I can't hear you. She starts cursing me out. And when she starts cursing me out, the words come out of her mouth. And they're like those 1960s Batman letters. And it was beautiful. But needless to say, I had to snap out of it. Again, not too much comedy here, just facts of life that we're learning. Thank you guys for your time. Give it up for your host, Spencer, man. Thanks so much.
Willie Travis, everybody. Keep it going for that wonderful PSA. Don't do drugs a third time. Okay. All right. You guys ready for your last comic of the night? Hell yeah. She's one of my favorites. She's going to be one of your favorites, too. Keep it going for Maddie Nishimi.
Hello. Super high energy right off the bat, right? I'm going to tell you a story about my rich grandparents. Grandparent, actually. My grandfather died a little over a year ago, and I'm a cashier. I work retail, and one time this guy came up to my register, and he was wearing a shirt with the logo that my dad's company is, and I was like, oh, hey, my dad works for that company, and he was like, oh, what's your dad's name? And I told him, and he goes, oh, his dad just died, didn't he? And I said, yeah. He did. That was my grandfather too, and he is dead. But thanks for that. So that was just like a fun little interaction we had. Anyway, dead grandfather. We're gonna make fun of my grandma. She's still alive. It's okay. You won't get in trouble. But my grandma's crazy, and I know you're like, all old people are crazy. She started crazy. She has 3 children. My aunt is the oldest, and when my aunt was a baby, she got sick, and the doctors gave her penicillin, and she got better, but she had diarrhea. And so my grandma told the doctors that all 3 of her children were allergic to penicillin, one of the most life-saving drugs ever created. And then, that's not true, obviously, but this is in their medical records. So my uncle gets to college, and he gets sick, and the doctors are like, well, we can't give you penicillin because it says here you're allergic. And he's like, why does it say that? And they were like, well, it says that your mother said you were allergic to penicillin. And he said, I am not allergic to penicillin. And they were like, are you sure? Because if we give you this and you are, you will probably die. And he was like, yeah, I'm sure. And he had a grandchild a couple months ago, so I think he's not allergic to penicillin. It's just my suspicion. But making fun of my grandma, she's crazy. That was when she was like 30, just for reference. She was like 85 when this story happened, so we can imagine how it progressed. But rich grandparents, they used to take our whole family on big family trips. We got to see a lot of beautiful places. It was really nice. I'm very lucky to have had that. But sometimes when you're traveling with old people, they do weird things, and then you have to deal with that too. So we were flying back from a trip one time. This is 2015. We're all at the airport. My grandparents, my parents, and my sister and I are going to be on one flight. Everyone else is going to different cities. They don't have to deal with this. And when my grandparents went to airports, they used to get wheelchair assists because that way they didn't have to walk through the airport. It was really great for them. And it was great for us, too, because at some airports, when you're, like, with a wheelchair person and you get to TSA, they're like, oh, just go right ahead, and they just wave you right through. And you're like, hold on, don't you want to make sure we're not terrorists? And they're like, no, you're with someone in a wheelchair. There is no possible way you could be a terrorist. And I think that if any of you are looking to commit an act of terrorism, try bringing an old person. I think it would work. Depending on the airport. But at this airport, how you got the wheelchairs was you checked your bags and then you went up to this lady who was standing at a podium and you asked her. So my grandma goes up to the lady at the podium and she says, can we have 2 wheelchairs? And the lady says, are all of your liquids and gels in a plastic bag? And my grandma says, no. In 2015. So the lady at the podium says, here's a plastic bag, put all your liquids and gels in here, and then come back. And I feel my heart die as I realize that as the youngest in the family, it will be my job to clean all of this up. So then we push ourselves to the side of the airport. You know how there's always a family on the side of the airport that's they're going through something? That was us this time. So we're the family at the side of the airport. My sister and I are starting to dig through all of their bags because of course they have those little rolly bags that no one opens. They're not for anything. They're just for decoration. And then she's also an old lady, so she has a purse that's like Mary Poppins bag, but it weighs 50 pounds. So my sister and I are digging through that while my grandma's arguing with my dad. She's like, this isn't a rule. And he's like, yes, it is. And she's like, well, it must only be at this airport. And he's like, no, it's not. And she goes, well, it must be a new rule. And he goes, no, it's not. And she says, well, I've never been stopped before. And we're all like, well, you definitely should have been. But while this is happening, my sister and I are digging through their stuff. And I'm going to read you a short list of some of the things I found. Not all, because the paper's not long enough for that. I found 3 tubes of the same rash cream, 5 types of lotion, including calamine lotion for all those bug bites you get at 3,000 feet in the air. 30,000, I know numbers. There were 7 tubes of toothpaste, but no toothbrush. None found. There were 10 lipsticks in 6 different shades, because you gotta have doubles. There were 12 pens. I've never seen her write anything down in her life. There were 13 chapsticks. Enough chapstick, she would never need to buy any again, right? I am positive she has. And there was also in a little plastic bag, you know the kind you get drugs in? We're all here. We know what we're talking about. Everyone's talking about acid. It's like the little plastic bags you get drugs in. There was one of those with 3 coffee beans in it. And it was at that point that I didn't care if I was in the will anymore. But we've packed, my sister and I have gone through all this shit. We're packing it all up. We've got it in the plastic bags. We're entitled to 6 plastic bags, right? Grandparents, parents, my sister and I. All of them are filled with her shit. My 1 chapstick and my mom's 1 toothpaste, not allowed. We had to make room for those 3 rash creams. So we've got all of this shit packed up, and then we're like, all right, we're worried about missing our flight. And then we get to TSA, and they just wave us right through. And I had never been more furious in my life. And I was pretty pissed that the only thing she didn't pack was a gun. Because then at least we would have gotten stopped. That's the end of me. Are you paying attention, Spencer? I'm done.
Maddie Nishimi, I'm a professional. I'm always paying attention. Hey, thank you everybody for coming out to Camp Wanderlust. Keep it going for all the comics you've seen tonight. Hell yes. And give a round of applause for Jesse for having us. Thank you, Jesse. Holler! Alrighty. Hey, we are back next month, September 2nd, 8 p.m. Hopefully I'll see you there. Love you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. We're not done, though. So don't, if you want to continue your night, you can. LOLGBT Plus presents Say Yes. Will be coming up in, well, let's call it, I don't know, 7 or so minutes? Or 5. That's not very long. So, if you want to keep your night going, see me at the bar, and I can help extend that for just a couple bucks more. Otherwise, online audience, stick around too. We'll be getting started in, 5, 10, however long it takes. See you in a few.
Big black boots, long brown hair. She's so sweet with her get back stare. I could see you at home with me, but you are with another man. I know we ain't got much to say, but before I let you get away, are you gonna be my girl? 1, 2, 3, turn your hand, come with me, 'cause you look so fine, and I really wanna make you mine. You look so fine, and I really wanna make you mine. 4, 5, 6, come on and get your kicks, 'cause you don't need the money with a face like that, do you? You don't. Big black boots, long brown hair. She's so sweet with her get back stare. I could see you at home with me, but you are with another man. I know we ain't got much to say, before I let you get away.
Testing.
It works.
Oh my God.
Oh, you're fine.
Alright,
Sure. I gotta be self-sufficient. You're like, when is that ever gonna be Jared was trying to help me figure out what to wear.
Oh my god, by the way, that tearaway from yesterday, so good. No, I haven't seen the video. I know, remember, I wanted to see it. People lost it. I believe it. I was like, the tearaway was so good. So good.
I'm excited because this show is gonna like give me an opportunity every month to wear and make new like female dresses because I will never get an audience here for an hour and look at that water. So how did you guys like how did you feel about this? Just here.
Oh, sweet. Okay. We do it every month, right? Every first Friday. If there's a cool Friday. It's a great idea. We know the thing.
Welcome to Stab Comedy Theater. It's time for LOLGBT Plus presents Say Yes. I can never say it properly and just let myself say it. I can't. Please welcome to your stage the show. I didn't get everybody's. I know it's Yaya and it's Suzette. Sorry. There you go.
Hi, everybody in the audience. We have a live studio audience, so I'm going to talk to the camera. I'll talk to the audience. My name is Suzette Vanetti, and with me is Yaya. Is your official title Yaya the Caniac now?
Yeah, Yaya the Caniac.
Okay.
Anyone here go to Cane's Chicken? Do you like Cane's Chicken? Me too.
Okay, so that's a joke, but she's just Yaya.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke that she loves canes.
Okay, so that's what I was gonna say. I was like, you like sugar cane that much?
Raising Canes.
Oh, Raising Canes.
Have you never been?
No.
Oh my goodness.
I just raise different kinds of canes.
Har har.
Oh, we need a rim shot, soundboard. And this is Aurora Lot More.
Hello.
Woo! And we do this talk show. Say yes, like Jesse said. I think you said it fine, Jesse. By the way.
Say yes.
Yeah, I'm just still.
The bass.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So every month that we answer social, last month we actually talked about should every drag performer produce their own show, and you can translate these to like, I don't know. Does anyone here do stand-up comedy? You guys were just at the last comedy show, and then you stayed for this show. That's fantastic. So you guys are just like stab stands. Okay. Stands of stab.
Oh yeah, sorry, I'm not from here, so I was like, what?
No, you're from. We talked about it. You're from Modesto. But you came here for this show, only for this show specifically.
Yes.
Yeah. She said yes. If I and a cute guy, if I repeat my like what you guys say, it's just because you're not mic'd, and so just for the viewing audience, like on Twitch and Twitch and YouTube, it might be helpful for them to hear what you have to say. So last month we answered the question: should everyone produce their own show? And I got some feedback.
No,
you weren't on that episode.
That's okay.
So shut the fuck up.
No, she can have it. Do you no? Do you want to speak on it for a second?
No, I don't need to. Just no. That's it.
My tights are stuck on the chair.
You don't have tits.
The fish.
There we go.
Tight.
Tight. Okay.
These ears are just here for good decoration. That's it.
I actually got some interesting feedback on that. I talked to one of the more newer performers. I won't name names, and I was told like these newer shows. The first one they do at these like straight venues, which we love shows at straight venues, absolutely, but I think it takes a lot of responsibility to do a show at a straight venue because you're working with a crowd that might not be familiar with drag.
And a business that doesn't know drag.
Right, absolutely. And so like I was told some of these shows, like the businesses will go like gung-ho on the first show and they'll have posters everywhere and they're like ready and they're like, we're ready to do the show. We can't wait to do the show. We've been promoting it. And then like 30 people show up and they were expecting 100. And then like the drag performers is like, we need water, we need drinks, we need food. And like then the business is like, and then the next time.
It's not financially stable.
It's not, and people don't, we talked a lot about that. Like, it has to be financially stable for the venue. So thank God there are 5 of you. If there are only 2 of you, that'd be more of you out there than up here. And then Jesse, he's actually a sweetheart. You wouldn't say this. But other places in the world would be like, you're done.
They would have asked me to leave.
Right. We would have, because to balance it out. Or we would have been like, can you just sit there and not talk?
I would have. I so would have.
I was actually going to ask you to do that.
To do it
anyway.
anyways?
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
don't talk. Thank you.
Jealousy is a very, very bad thing.
Why would I be jealous of you when I look like this, baby?
Oh, that's true.
You do look good.
Like
Dude.
a corn husk.
You both look good.
I'm on like a corn husk. Girl, calm down.
That's a sunflower.
It's, well, I don't know my plants.
I know. That's why that's why I said it quietly.
Just because I'm Mexican, y'all expect me to know?
You're not. I know. You've never been in a field in your life.
I know, I haven't.
But this is
Thank God.
This is more of a flower.
Oh,
yeah,
that's true.
Can you do a corn look for the next episode?
No.
You have to now.
Yeah, please.
I'm gonna show up in the audience looking like a corn husk just to point at you.
For my birthday in September. For
it
me.
can be elotes. I want to be because I want to like cover myself in cheese too. I love elote.
Butter.
Wait, what? What are you gonna
butter
be?
and cheese?
I want to be an elote.
Oh, you're gonna be an elote? Okay,
Yeah.
be an
If I'm gonna
elote.
do a corn look, I want to do a
I
real
didn't hear
corn
elote.
look.
I said, give me a little taste. I love some butter and cheese, and I was like,
what?
What is it? There's no kai-kai
I'm
going
here
on
for
here.
this.
Like,
Yeah.
okay,
I'll
all
bring
right.
the butter. You bring the cheese.
Period.
Okay, all right.
Suzette
so-
will bring the mayonnaise.
Yes.
Yeah.
What? That's racist.
I laughed. It's okay.
It's funny, but it's still racist. I don't like mayo. I
Can't
just
be
look-
racist towards white people.
I look like I like mayo. I just don't actually like mayo. All right, so write it down, YouTube and Twitch audience. Yaya's gonna come as a lote to the next episode. Anyway, so that was the feedback I got. Did you get any feedback?
No, I don't talk to anybody. So no.
Okay. Well, so I don't know if Apple did or not, but today's episode is actually I don't think this could be translated to comedy, although you could find a parallel. But should every drag performer know how to dance? And like we might shorthand it and like call that an 8 count, because does anyone dance in the audience? Modesto, you look like you dance. You don't look like you dance? You do. But doesn't she look like she dances?
No.
No, I was
No,
going
she
to.
doesn't.
I was going to say yes.
Yeah.
She looks like Alanis
Yes.
Morissette, though.
But see, it's
has
different.
anyone ever told you that you look like Alanis Morissette? Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
She doesn't
I love
dance.
it.
Alanis Morissette does not dance.
Oh, she said she has it in common with Alanis Morissette. See, it gets weird if I do that, but like that's why I told you guys I'm gonna do that, because otherwise it's just like, why are you narrating? Buzz Lightyear. Anyone see that? Did that make sense to anybody? You guys? Okay, cool.
It's the chin.
Who?
Buzz Lightyear.
Who has a chin? Not me. Don't call me
It's
a
okay.
mayo and a chin.
I'm feeling angsty tonight.
A little bit. Wow.
I'm here for it.
Anyways.
Mean Bessie. Anyway, so should every drag performer know how to dance? Or do an 8 count? So we'll do a quick like yes or no, or maybe, and then we'll talk about it. And we might deviate. And if you guys have questions, absolutely like ask them. If you ask your question, I might like hand you the mic just so people watching can hear. If that's okay. So should every drag performer know how to dance?
I think no.
I'm gonna say no.
I'm gonna say maybe.
Or maybe a better question is, should it be requisite? Should it be necessary for every drag performer to know how to dance?
I'm gonna still say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna still say no.
A requisite? I would have to say no, but I do want to like dive into it a little more because I have opinions.
Okay, well, let's start there.
Okay, with me?
Yeah, with
okay,
your opinions.
sure.
Come on, corn, sunflower.
Yeah, so I think, especially like in our network of people, like we're mostly performing at like top 40 nightclub gay bars. And I think having some moves in your back pocket is like quintessential if that's your like main avenue. I don't necessarily think every single drag performer needs to know how to dance. This like last week I was at Oasis for a show called Princess, and it was a Bjork theme, and Bjork's music is really like bizarre and outlandish. So like obviously you're not gonna like come out to pagan poetry with like cat kitty cat cat
Summer song.
So
Like, oh, no.
and like that show was really like amazing. It was cathartic and just like the energy was really cool, and like dancing in that setting would have been bizarre. But like most of the drag performers that were in that show also do shows at like top 40 bars and stuff like that. So I do think like you should have your specific style, whether that is, you know, very theatrical or lip sync based. But I think knowing how to dance is like important. I think you should have some steps.
So on that note, so I think what you're referring to is more rhythm than dance. I agree with that. I agree with you being able to tune into the song and move rhythmically. I'm Latin. I don't know how to speak very well.
ESL.
Rhythmically to that song. Now, whether it's an 8 count or it's choreographed, I don't need that. So, because when I think of iconic drag performers, I think of Erica Andrews. She wasn't a dancer. She was a stage performer. She's did ballroom drag. So she's like a pageant queen, absolutely stunning. You watched her and she gave a story from beginning to end, and she was amazing, right? Her daughters and her grandchildren and all of them, they're not known to be dancers, and yet they're some of the most iconic performers in drag. Who do you normally like think of? Coco Peru? Like,
no, I was gonna say like the queens I would list
right.
don't even, but they don't perform in clubs really.
But that's where they started. But that's I think that's where I get it from. It's like, okay, we all start in this club setting. We all start in situations like this where we're going to be around like people who don't know us, who don't care about us. But at the end of the day, we still have to captivate their attention. Now, if I start doing a summer song, like do all this stuff, you guys are gonna be like, what the hell is this bitch doing? Like, no, we're here to listen, not watch you do all that. So that's why I say no. Because I think like, yes, I think all queens should have rhythm.
But rhythm's not something that you can teach.
Yeah, then they shouldn't be doing
drag. So if you don't have rhythm, then it's
then
over.
They shouldn't be doing drag. Unless it's comedy.
Oh, they're talking about me.
No, you have some rhythm.
I have rhythm. But a lot of people don't think I can dance at all, and
I am one of those people.
But I can move rhythmically.
I have high hopes because I've seen her do a little wiggle.
A wiggle. Do you guys have any questions about, like, we're using some slang up here and talking about places? No? Because here's the thing. If you have the question, someone watching might have the question. So if you're like, what's a princess? What's an oasis?
Can we see the stream on our thing?
I can pull it up, yeah.
Just so if anyone's watching, we know if they have questions too.
Well, Jesse, he'll read them.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, I was like, can somebody read them? Because I can't read.
Yeah, because I forgot to, like, boot it up before the show.
Why are you wearing
then
glasses?
I'd just be typing.
They're here for show, just as I am. You know? That's it.
Drag is smoke and mirrors.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the glasses are fake. Yes.
Really?
Okay, here. So she asked, we said something about princess and an ocean.
So that was a show I did this previous weekend. The show itself is called Princess, and it's at a venue called Oasis in San Francisco.
Oh, okay. I just thought they were okay. Yeah. Lean forward. Oh, it's okay. Like, doesn't she ever lean forward for you? No.
This is new. I feel like this is new. No.
Oh, so it hasn't happened yet.
See, well, maybe this is the perfect place to be at.
Are you also?
Are you dancers and do you have rhythm? Maybe not.
Are you also from
dance
Modesto?
Floor.
You're from here, so you came here for the date. Okay, but you haven't not yet. Okay, she said not yet.
Well, at least she said yet.
She did say yeah.
That means it's going well.
So if you did, would it be rhythmic?
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you might not be able to dance, but you have rhythm. See?
She might have rhythm.
That's all that
Come back
matters.
next month and let us know.
So right. So I think like what you were saying, like to put it in layman's terms, a lot of us start in a like drag show that's it's best if you do top 40. Right. Don't come out and be weird like we can be, because we can be weird.
I feel like I am innately weird. Like, I want to do weird things. But I also do love listening to top 40 music, and I like the radio, and I like keeping up with, like, the culture of, like, new music. And so, like, I've taught myself how to dance because I do want to perform those songs, and I do want to be, like, relevant in the clubs. Because, and it's not, like, a matter of me selling out, because it is still something I enjoy doing. But it's like, as drag performers, we are all artists, and we all have like an innate artistic desire to do bizarre things or whatever, theatrical things.
Do we?
And okay, so I was
all? No, not all,
No.
but many of us do. But I do feel like if you are going to put yourself in a mainstream nightclub as your like main source of revenue, you need to be able to like generate income for yourself in the club.
So okay, so that's where I was going to bring it up. I was like, I don't think it's necessarily that you all of a sudden had this epiphany. You're like, I'm gonna be a dancer. You know, it was, if I was able to do top 40 songs, I'd make more coin.
No, absolutely. If I pop my pussy and throw myself around on stage,
but
like
then
I will make more money.
But realistically, if it wasn't, if that wasn't one of the thoughts, or that wasn't the thought process, would you have done it?
I think still yes, because
Okay.
I am a musician. Like I love music, and I do love like pop music, just like trashy, shallow pop music. And so, like, yeah, I think I would still like dance around and flail to some.
But I think that's
some
important.
Britney Spears. Oops, I did it again.
Absolutely.
I think it's important to say, like, if you taught yourself how to dance, not everybody can do that.
Right.
Like,
because that's when I started performing. I wasn't a dancer either. In
Still
order for me, I'm it's true. Now I'm just somebody who just stands around and looks dumb. But one of the things that for me, that was it. If I want to be able to capitalize on my talent and not just perform at one local bar and be able to move from area to area, club to club, I need to have something else other than what I normally do. So when I started getting booked at other locations, for example, Faces, when I was part of Sequence Saturday, we had to do a choreographed number as a group. So then we would have to go in 1 or 2 days before the actual show, choreograph a whole number, and then perform it before we even did our own numbers, and then we could do whatever we wanted. So it was, now you have to learn how to move a certain way to a certain beat that's not something you would have picked originally, because they picked the song for us. We would show up, and then whether we liked it or not, that's what we were doing for the night. So yes, I do think it's like super beneficial for our paychecks. Had I wanted to do that, would I have done it? Absolutely not. Because I was making good money regardless, but I wanted more.
I also think it's important to mention that there's a difference between doing choreo and just dancing.
Absolutely.
Like, I hate choreo.
Choreography, and it's weird. I'll bring Rosalia Valentine up. Rosalia Valentine is another local drag artist here in the area. She is my partner, my husband, whatever. And she, I would say, is not the most like rhythmically inclined. She does not dance, but she did theater in college and like can nail choreography like that. Like she sees it and she can learn it. But I'm the total opposite. Like I have rhythm and I can improvise, but the second I try to like replicate what someone's doing, it does not happen. So choreography and like the ability to dance are two totally different skills.
They are. They definitely are. Because I was the one who always struggled, and I have rhythm. That's why I'm like, I have rhythm, but I cannot keep up with. I'm always one step behind.
Totally.
I just play into it. I'm like, oops, I slept. You know, but it's completely different.
I hate choreo because if you, like, let's say you're doing songs 3 minutes and 15 seconds, and every moment is choreographed, right? And then, like, if you slip or you get mixed up or you're doing a drag, have you guys seen drag shows, live studios? No? You looked at her before you nodded your head yes.
He's watching one right now. You.
Oh, I mean, it's not wrong. No, it's okay. I was just noting. I was like, you don't have to pretend. She can bring you to one. Yeah. We're doing brunch on Sunday, so 11 and 1:30. Always hustling. Anyway, if you miss a moment of the choreo, then it's really hard to catch up. And what if you miss the good part and you want to do the good part? Do you do the good part? Like, no, that's why just have the moves be able to move rhythmically. But what if you can't? Can you still be a drag performer?
Totally.
Yeah.
And that I kind of want to look at it from like the reverse side too. You know, a lot of queens, dancing is their main talent. Like that's what they do, and that's what they do every single time. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, so you break your leg and you can never dance again.
Oh yeah.
Like what?
Then
what else can you do?
Then they wear those little kitten heels that all the
and
other
they keep
ones
doing it.
do.
But no,
like
like
while you're healing, like
so
what
like,
do you do?
And the thing is like, you know, I think for me the main thing is just like versatility. Like know how to do some dance moves, but also know how to do comedy and know how to do musical theater and like really sell a lip sync, because if you only have one of those skills, you're not gonna have like this career that you can take everywhere.
Career.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing where I think my viewpoint is a little different, because I've always been the kind of person that thinks, why are you doing drag if you're only doing it for one specific reason? If you only have one niche, why are you doing drag
like you're
for that
only a
one
dancer.
niche? Because even if you go from bar to bar and everybody sees you, they film you, they post it on TikTok, they post it on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, and they see you doing the same thing over and over and over at different places, the interest in wanting to see you is now gone. So then why are you doing drag to go to 10 different bars, 10 different days, do the same song, wear the same outfit, do the same choreo?
No, totally. And I always say drag is like the art form of all art forms, because
Right. So it's like,
to me, to be like a good drag artist, you have to know how to
you have to have theater,
costume yourself, do your hair.
Right.
You know how you have to know how to do makeup.
Stylist.
You have to lip sync and perform, and you're also a business person. Like
that's the biggest part.
Like you're absolutely a business person.
But
And
see but that's why it comes back to that. Like, would we have done that dancing thing if it wasn't we're business people?
Absolutely.
You know.
And I think a couple things. So first of all, right, absolutely, and like I never envisioned dancing during a drag number, but like even what I do when it is dancing, like sometimes you have to be able to do it. I don't do it. Sometimes I put a mic stand down and I do a ballad and I don't move my fucking feet. Like, but there, and some people don't consider that drag. Oh, we have a question?
Well, not so much a question, but some a la mode.
Oh no.
Not a la mode. She's gonna
Chiming
drag.
in, followed just to say that so far, stage presence can't be taught, nor can star power.
She said stage presence cannot be taught?
No.
I would agree with that. I think stage presence is something that
I disagree.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I disagree.
So you think you can teach someone how to have stage presence?
Yes.
How?
There's certain things that I'm not saying they're going to be good at it, but you can teach them what to do.
Okay.
So
what to you is stage presence in its like purest
demanding
form?
attention, whether it's good or bad. That's stage presence, right? So even if you're bombing in your number, if everybody, I'm gonna throw one name out there, and like I mean all the disrespect I possibly can. Thunder Thighs.
Oh,
do you remember?
Put some respect on Tanya Thunder Thighs.
Right.
That is
right.
I love her.
Right. But why? Why? Because she bombed every time.
No, because she's a barb.
Honey, she came out once in tinfoil and her ball hanging out. That's bombing.
Hold on, what is a barb? The audience wants to know.
The audience should know what a barb is.
But they don't.
It's a Nicki stan. A Nicki Minaj stan.
So
a barb. Tanya
she
Thunder
sucks
Thighs.
at drag,
No.
but she's amazing because she's a Nicki fan. No.
Yes.
So, but that was her thing. But that was her. And to me, I'm like, that was her shtick. Her shtick was she came out. She was consistently horrible, and we all watch.
She
we
know she
all
was
watched.
horrible.
I loved her, and that was the reason
Was she
why.
trying to be horrible?
No,
I don't.
That's
yeah,
the
no.
thing. She didn't know that she was out there with one left
That's
nut
not
out.
That's not a shtick then.
But you know,
No,
Tanya
but it
Thunder
was,
Thighs,
because
if you're
if
watching this,
consistent- I hope she is.
I
love
hope
you,
you're
bitch.
watching this because I want you to know that at After Hours, you were always that bitch that I was looking
Everybody
at.
came out to watch her, but that's what I'm saying. Nobody, like everybody was like, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing amazing. Yes, yes, yes. They taught her that that was okay. They taught her that that was stage presence.
It was.
So now, right, because it was horrible. It was horrible to watch.
It was
a
iconic.
train wreck happening out on stage, and you wanted to be there for every second of it because every time it was a different thing. Everything was. One day she came out, her wig was halfway on, halfway off. She didn't even know. So
Tanya
it was like,
Thunder
but see,
Thighs.
that's
Sweetie, I'm so sorry.
That's one, but I brought her up for that example. It's like, yes, you can have stage presence and not be a good drag queen. You can be told, hey, keep doing what you're doing. It's working for you. That's stage presence, whether it's good or bad.
Can you be a good drag queen and have no stage presence?
No.
If it's part of a shtick.
I say no. I say no.
What
You
shtick
can't.
requires?
Oh no, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say I'm
you
agreeing.
can't.
I'm gonna say no.
You can't go out there and pretend you're the best drag queen on stage, not do anything, and expect us all to want to watch.
But isn't faking it to make it how you make it?
No.
You can't make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
I think you can't.
No.
That might be the White Claw talking.
It might be.
Let's.
I think so.
I'm a fucking dreamer, man.
Let's fold this into the topic of the day. So dancing can be stage presence, but I've also seen a lot of people.
I don't think
dance
so.
I think it can actually work against you. Totally.
But it can totally work against you because if you're at home and you're like, I'm gonna do drag one day and I'm just gonna come out and I'm gonna dance and everyone's gonna love it, but you have no stage presence. Like it's not going to read as
And that's what I mean. Like,
what you think it
Okay,
is.
but how consistent is that? Is that a drag performer or is that a performance?
That's a performance.
Right.
You're just saying shit. What does
No.
that mean?
So no,
I get it.
No,
I
I
get it.
agree. Because in that situation, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead. We're talking about drag performers, right? We're talking about drag performers. Are they required to be able to dance or be like dancers, right?
Right.
In that situation, it's somebody at home now. All of a sudden, like I'm gonna do drag. They come out, they do their thing, they dance. Is that a prolonged drag performer, or is it going to be
That's
a
a
one-time
dancer.
performer?
That's a dancer in a wig.
So, is that a drag performer? That's my question. Is that a drag performer in the long run, or is that now just somebody who comes out occasionally that we see in certain shows?
I see what you're saying, because to be a drag performer, you do have to have like peaks and valleys in a performance. You have to be able to stop, command attention, make eye contact with your audience, have impactful moments in your numbers. Because if you're just like cat, kitty, cat, boom, and you're not looking at anybody and you're not engaging with your audience, then yeah, I agree. Then you're just performing. You're not a drag performer. So I get what you're saying.
Well, and like I don't know. We talked about. You mentioned. What was her name? I'm sorry.
Tanya Thunder.
No, not her. Not her.
Thighs.
The
Oh,
older.
I love her, but
No,
I
no,
love
not
to
her,
hate
not
her.
her.
Oh, not her.
Andrews.
Erica Andrews.
Erica Andrews, and you mentioned Coco Peru.
Peru, Varla Jean Merman.
Right.
Yeah,
And
like, they don't
There's
dance.
a reason they're still performing. I don't know if Erica Andrews.
Divine.
Right. There's a reason like they're icons and they're legends because you can only get so much choreographed dancing in it before you're like, okay, cool, I've seen it. Right. That's not what sticks with people. What sticks with people is the fucking weirdness that we all do. Like
it's
that,
the peaks and valleys of every performance.
And like if you like, what are those sticks? The glow sticks. If you break it and you like shake it and then you put it out for everyone to see and it burns bright for 15 seconds and then you move on, like they're like, oh cool, that was neat. I don't know. That's how I view dancing.
Stupid analogy.
It
but
really
okay.
was a bad analogy. Yeah.
I'm
fired.
you lost me at
I'm
shaking
fired.
it up. I was like, oh, I remember him. No.
But if you do that and it burns for 15 seconds and then you move on,
go see a doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. Great. But like it's the other things. I hate when people think drag is just dancing. Like it's not.
Agreed. I totally agree. Drag is not
But
just dancing.
I will say this. I think like you had mentioned too, it's one of those things where it's like now it's become kind of like an understood thing that's what the audience is going to expect. They go to a drag show, and because of the society that has been built around drag through Drag Race and like everything like that.
I was gonna say,
now it's become a standard. Okay, I'm gonna go to a drag show if I've never seen one. This is what I've heard about. This is what I've seen. Now I'm expecting this.
So do you think Drag Race is the reason that audiences expect that?
No.
I think
Drag Race?
I think that there's a clear definition of which audience does and which ones doesn't.
Say it.
So,
Which
for
one?
example, I think that the straight audience is the audience that is going to expect that type of performance.
Really?
Whereas queer culture, we're there on Sunday nights when it's just, 3 people doing 2 numbers each. 2 of them did a ballad and they had no outfit change. Like, those are like the people who are diehard drag fans.
I almost feel the opposite.
I
though.
feel that I agree with you
feel
here.
like queer people and gay people in the clubs expect more high energy and dancing than straight people do. Because I'm gonna plug my own shit for a second. Is that a fucking butterfly?
It's a moth, but they're similar. Like, it's a moth that's not in drag. A butterfly is just a moth.
It's
in drag.
thunder thighs.
That's a sign. That was
I told you
that's
she
a
was
weird-
horrible.
That's an omen. Or a.
Told you. It's coming for me.
Uh-oh. Okay.
It's coming
And
for
look,
me.
now it's turning. That's a butterfly.
Well, it just put on its drag.
That is so weird.
Oh, then it's mine.
Are you scared of it?
Don't be. It's a butterfly. It's sweet.
Oh.
Anyway. What was I saying? Oh,
yeah.
Queer and gay people are like the most hypercritical of drag. And I was gonna plug my own show.
That's
So I host a show every first Tuesday at Punchline called Nightcap, and it is a cabaret style show. So there's not a lot of like cat kitty cat like dancing happening. And usually our audience is a lot of straight folk, and I feel like they are super receptive to alternative styles of drag. I feel like at my show, I can do cabaret, I can do comedy, and like straight people will be like, this is cool, this is great, we're laughing. But if I try to do that at No Shade Badlands on like a Thursday or a Friday when there's just like 300 gay people drinking alcohol, they don't want to see like some like funny cabaret number. They want me to slam my cooter on the floor and dance a house down.
I just want to say, in case the fire. Well, I think we have 3 viewers. So one is Tanya Thunderthighs, and if the other one, if the fire marshal, if the fire marshal is watching, we don't have 300 people at Badlands. Absolutely not. It's way less than that. It's under
hyperbole.
Yes, we are under capacity.
Usually when I'm drunk,
No, you're
so
drunk,
I see double.
so she's seeing double.
I see double.
Uh-huh, double.
So it's 150.
And she's cross-eyed, so it's literally triple.
So I disagree with you, and I half agree with you.
But
I think
I was gonna ask a question, and only because I've been to the show, I've done it, and I remember walking around and asking, and I want to say 35% of the people who were there had never heard of or been to a drag show. Right. I had said people who watch RuPaul's Drag Race.
Okay.
That is the straight crowd from there. I'm not referring to your audience. That audience doesn't know left from right when it comes to drag.
And I love it.
No, which is awesome because that's the first understanding of what drag is, and you're able to give all venues of drag in that time frame so that they're exposed to it. But the straight people who go to Badlands have been there either before, because even when we ask, it's just 1 or 2, 3 people who are like, I've never seen a drag show, but I'm here with my friends who brought me here because they said it was amazing. And we already created the stigma on those particular days. Be upbeat, be upbeat. It's Thursday night, it's Friday night. This is what they want to see. This is what is it not? Okay. We're the ones who created a standard all of a sudden of what we thought the show is going to be for a particular night, and now we're going to sit,
Yes and no. So I'll go in reverse order. So yeah, but like we've been doing, we actually just realized yesterday that we've been doing Thursdays for almost a year now, our year anniversary.
I know, that's amazing.
Yeah, and
congratulations.
The show, thank you very much. Thank you. I do a show on Thursday nights. At
Somebody would
Badlands.
say you stole it, but I'm gonna say too bad.
Who would say I stole it?
From who?
Yeah.
I think you're talking about Latin Night.
Yeah.
That they stole.
Oh no, that one's still going.
Actually, no.
Without the people.
Right. There's no people.
Okay, so
we're gonna get in trouble.
So
inside
that's why
stuff.
that's
We're
why
being
I'm gonna-
shady over here.
So
We're
Thursday
being
nights,
shady,
Thursday nights, it started very small, and like there weren't a lot of people coming out to see it, and we didn't make a lot in tips. And it's grown and it's grown and it's grown, and we've had some huge nights in the past year, like just like crazy big nights.
Selena night.
Selena night was enormous. Like
last night
was really big. Cinco de Mayo was huge. St. Patrick's Day was like bananas.
Was that the one I did? Yeah, that one was crazy.
Like we've had some just randomly sometimes we'll have just like a weird fucking. There are a lot of straight people that come on Thursday nights. There are more gay people that come on Fridays, and those people are more drag connoisseurs. Sunday nights is like real drag connoisseurs. Yeah. Like Friday nights, we get a mix of gays that aren't drag connoisseurs and gays that are like super drag connoisseurs. So I don't know if we created the stigma so much as like, especially because you did the first Thursday with me, like we've learned what the crowd is going to be receptive to, and we try to give them that because it is a lot of straight people that may never have seen drag. And so I don't try to give them dancing. And I love, by the way, that you see cat, kitty, cat, cat, and they're like, is that a dance move? Like a cat, kitty, right? You were wondering, weren't you?
I can cat, kitty, cat,
It
cat
is.
for you.
Do it on the dance floor next time you guys
Yeah.
are out.
Next
Cat,
time,
kitty,
if
cat,
you go
cat.
to you go to her show at Callback Bar, Nightcap, and I want you to scream from the audience, do cat, kitty, cat, cat.
We're actually changing the name to Night Cat, Kitty, Cat, Cat.
Good. Yes, you should.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I'll give them top 40 on a Thursday, but I also will be weird sometimes because
you're weird all the time.
No, that's not true. I was very normal last night.
Hard disagree.
I was me.
It was very un-Suzette.
It was not Suzette.
Right.
So you think you were normal or you were weird?
Okay, I think I was.
We're digging a big hole here.
And it's
Right.
it's getting.
I think I gave normalcy. I from a Suzette, like dressed as a Suzette. I'm a Suzette.
To whose standard?
To her own. Let's move on.
Okay, so what else were we talking about? I think the what did you say? And then you disagreed. Oh
No, I said that
gay
I
and
felt
straight.
that I felt that like
Right.
the straight audience that watches RuPaul's Drag Race. I specifically
But I don't
said
think they see a lot of dancing on Drag Race.
False. They do.
They do.
There's like the one choreo.
They have
group,
all
like,
the there's like
literally season.
well, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, ever since Alyssa Edwards was on that show, they always
season
5.
8? Season 5?
They always cast dancing girls now because they know they're gonna kill the lip syncs.
I wasn't thinking about the lip sync, so I guess there is dancing in every episode. But
And they have like 2 or 3 choreograph episodes
a season.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well then, yeah.
But
I think
also, if we're gonna bring up Drag Race, there are times where there'll be 2 people competing against each other in a lip sync, and the one that is like dancing and doing the most actually ends up going home because the other one was like more engaged in the song, giving a lot more
Theatrics.
emotion, theatrics. So like, I'm not
It was the
saying
highs
that,
and
like,
lows that you
absolutely.
had mentioned,
Yeah,
right?
peaks and valleys. You gotta read the room and know when to do what you're gonna do.
Well, and I guess I should thank a la mode because that is stage presence, knowing how to, and stage awareness. Let me say, it's
read the room.
Stage awareness, like what does this song? Should I stand still for this moment, or should I cat kitty cat cat?
And
no,
that
we're gonna do como la flor the entire time, and we're gonna do cartwheels, backflips, and just
And that actually brings me to like
mayhem.
another thing is I feel like a lot of the times, sometimes queens will be performing and they won't be dancing, and then they feel like a lack of engagement, and then they start to like frantically vogue, and it gets really ugly. So like, if you're gonna dance, do it deliberately. Do it because it was like originally part of the plan, but like don't dance just because you feel like your number's flopping, and that's gonna be how you turn it around because that just feels frantic.
It's a tell, and what a lot of times you'll see people strip in that moment. Like if you go to a drag show and you can kind of feel the performer like struggling a little bit, and they start taking off clothes, like they didn't plan for that. Like,
and then we're like, no, we'll give you money to put it back on.
Right. But like
Please.
sometimes that happens a lot with my weirder numbers. Like I'll
You'll strip?
I'll admit no, I don't strip ever. But like I can, like when I do a number and it's like a slower song, I can feel the audience being like, okay, this is cool, but when does the mix come in, and when does the high energy come? And I'm in my head, I'm like, it doesn't. Just enjoy this. Just enjoy that. And like I want to do something. I want to start like voguing and stripping, but I'm like, no, that's not the plan. Like
I don't want to see voguing and stripping from Suzette Vanetti.
Neither do I.
Okay,
because that would entail her flopping around like a fish on the floor.
And we already get enough.
And we
of
already,
that.
yeah.
They're like, you guys have never seen me perform. They're like, what the fuck?
This is actually just the roast of Suzette Vanetti. Weird.
Yeah. Well, it's a dancing episode, and when I'm talking about it, I think Apple was going to film something and she didn't get the chance to. I think if you asked her like point blank, I think she would say yes. A drag performer should not. I know. She would say yes, a drag. But then like if we talked about it, I'm pretty sure she would agree that like you need to be able to everything we're saying. You need to be able to move rhythmically, and you need to have moments where you are higher energy, but like it's not a requisite part of a number.
True.
And I think there are lots of performers that are booked all the time, and they would say you should be able to dance and choreo should be part of every number. But I disagree with that.
And then to those people, I say, what happens when you break your leg? Can you give face? Can you give emotion? Can you give theater? And if you can't give those things because you can't dance anymore,
But see, and
then were you ever a drag performer to
But see,
start?
and that's what I was gonna say. I was like, these are the people that we know consistently do the same thing over and over because that's what they do. That's all they have. To me, it's like, okay, cool. You're a performer, not a drag performer. In my head, a drag performer is somebody who's well-rounded, who can, if need to, learn a choreo if you need to learn it for that particular number. But you need to be well-rounded all the way around. Can you style your own wig? Can you style your own outfit? Can it make sense to the number you're performing? Can you give emotion if you're doing a ballad? Can you make somebody in the audience come up to you later and be like, I felt it in my soul? No, these are the people who come out, give
they do their
emotion if you're doing a ballad, and they're like, yes, you did so good. Here's $1.
I felt it in
my soul. And then they walk away and they don't even remember you the next day.
Give you their number.
Whereas I think a drag
you did
performer,
so good.
Here's $1.
I've had so many instances.
And then they walk away and they don't even remember you the next day. And like they're in tears. Whereas I think a drag performer, here's $1. I've had so many instances. And then they walk away and they don't even remember. And then it's like, okay, let's take. I'm gonna take a drag performer out of it. I've had so many. Now I know. I don't even remember that they're gonna remember. Okay, let's take. I'm taking drag performers out of it. They had that one on. Now I know. I don't about that they're gonna remember. Okay, they're gonna want to come back. They had that one on. Now I know. I don't about that they're gonna. Okay, they're gonna want to come back. They had that one on. Now I know. They're gonna want to come back. I mean, even if they want that one number, sure, it's gonna be. They're gonna want to come back. I mean, even if they want that one number, sure, they're gonna want to come back. I mean, even if they want that one number, sure, they're gonna want to come back.
Oh my God! You guys, the Proud Boys are outside.
I think it's the Proud Boys.
Oh my God! You guys, the Proud Boys are outside.
I think it's the Proud Boys.
Oh my God! You guys, the Proud Boys are outside.
I think it's the Proud Boys. Oh, we're
It's
on a
feedback.
loop.
It's feedback.
We're on a loop.
Okay, it's
Dang,
gone. It's gone.
We hyped ourselves up for nothing. It was
So
us.
that's all crowd noise. That's all like an angry mob is.
It was.
It's just the
It was
same thing on
proud.
repeat.
It was just proud drag queens at that point.
Yeah, it's just 3 drag queens.
But I'm
sounding
like,
normal.
I think that that's what I mean is like I think the 3 of us can relate to that. It's like how many times has that happened to us where we now have this audience that comes see us on a regular basis, not because we did a cartwheel and a split. It's because we did something to them that made them remember to want to see us again.
Yeah, that's what.
And
I
that's
do.
us not dancing.
No, and now that you say that, it does like, I feel like the performances that people remember of mine are not those, the dancing ones. They'll come up to me and be like, oh, when you had the balloons on your head and it was so weird and you were all twitchy and freaky. That's what they remember. So, no, yeah, I totally agree.
When I do driver's license or Love the Way You Lie and I don't move my feet, like I think those are my best. So, I don't know. But then, like, I do a little bit of dancing when I do Up. People like that. But I think it's good to have the different skill sets, like the different superpowers. Like, your superpower can't just be dancing. Like, you have to be able to, like, style a wig or do makeup or dress yourself. Like, I don't know. Do you guys have any questions at this point about anything?
Or just drag us. Like,
Yeah.
Just read us.
Yeah, go for
whatever.
it. Does it look like any of us can't dance?
Or ask us a question that has nothing to do with the topic.
Yeah. Audience engagement.
Yeah. Or not.
No?
Yeah.
What is kitty cat? What did you call it?
Kitty cat cat.
Yeah.
Cat,
What is
kitty,
it?
cat, cat. It comes from the art of voguing.
Ball house.
I don't even know how you would explain cat kitty cat cat.
It's usually in like Vogue culture, the person who announces the two competitors that are gonna Vogue, it's just a style of dancing that's like that was brought up in like New York and the balls, like the drag ball scene.
It's really like pose oriented.
It creates a rhythm that now those dancers kind of have to follow. So it cat kitty cat cat, and then depending on the speed, their moves change depending on either how slow, how intense they're making the sounds. And it's not just that, it's just like they'll add different sounds to it, but it's meant to give the dancers a rhythm to follow since there's no music playing. Yeah. And then it can be it's on the spot. So as soon as they change it, if you're a real Vogue artist, you should be able to change immediately as well. So that's
And if you're interested in learning about ballroom culture, a really good movie to watch is Paris is Burning. It's on Netflix. And that's just like kind of a documentary documentary on
ballroom,
like ballroom and voguing and how that all like came to be and how it's kind of like morphed into this like watered down like drag dancing because voguing and ballroom and cat kitty cat cat are all very like they're art forms.
They're rooted.
They're like art forms with like a deep culture behind them and like a really deep history, and it gets watered down a lot in like the gay bars by like drag queens doing just lame little like dancing moves. So,
but I would say that Paris is Burning is really good. It's not just about ball. It's a really good
gay culture
depiction of gay life in like what the 1980s, like early 80s. Yeah. And it's like I'll bring it up a lot because people be like, oh, what is a drag mom? And I'm like, well, this is what a drag mom currently is, but a drag mom comes from like a house mother. Like that's where that term evolves from. And Paris is Burning does a really good job of showing.
And you'll be surprised, like a lot of the terminology that has kind of like funneled down, like it kind of all like comes from like black trans women and the ballroom scene.
Yeah, it's mostly black culture.
And then it kind of comes down
Gay
into like the gay culture, and then from the gays it goes to the straight world. Mm-hmm. And watching Paris is Burning, you'd be like, oh, these are like terms and lingo that I've like heard but never understood where it came from or why it's ingrained in the culture. And it's because of the ballroom culture.
Right. So you guys should watch that if you want to. It's a great documentary. Yeah. Any questions? It's cool if you do.
Right now?
Wait, what? I didn't hear.
Oh, will you do driver's license for us?
Drag race license.
Driver's license.
Oh no.
DJ, hit it.
So for that, you'll have to come to when's our next show? Oh, I might have questions from the audience on my phone.
Oh, you have questions on your phone?
I don't know.
So I think just to like, because that song does, I know it's by Olivia Rodrigo.
No,
turn it on.
It was coming from there.
What were you watching?
Right? That was disgusting.
It was
corn. It was corn porn.
There was right. Oh, now I know why you want to
Pornhub.
Yeah.
Right. See, now you have to do it next week, and again,
Farmers
I'll bring the
doing
butter. You bring the
disgusting
cheese.
No, so I don't know this show we don't perform on it, so that's the main reason. Like, thank you for wanting to see it.
We don't want to see it,
but also right now, if I talk about how good it is,
you'll
and I do
regret
it, and it's not
asking
good,
to see that.
then you're like, okay, that wasn't
I
that
think
good.
we have a question.
We have gotten a question.
Okay.
More a la mode. Still here. A la mode still watching.
Oh, thank you.
What's a current drag trend you want to disappear?
Ooh.
There are so many.
The belts. You hate the belt.
Oh yeah, I do hate like a big, chunky, ugly, like Renaissance fair corset belt.
Like WWE style. Like that they hold up like the winner.
I like a.
That's
cute,
not a new trend. That trend has been going around since the 90s.
Yeah, and it
She
needs
just
to
wants
go.
it to go away. It doesn't
I'm trying
matter
to
if new
think,
or
like,
old.
what
A
else
new trend.
Because there are things that drive me crazy, but then I forget to say. Ooh, the white around the lips. When people do like the white line to like highlight the lip.
I call it cum lip.
It's. And I'm sure there are some girls in the scene that do that, and I'm sorry for dragging you, but I think it's stupid and ugly.
I don't think I can answer, but and not because I don't want to. I can't think of any new trends. Like I'm sure if you pointed out
ostrich feather. Because
that's the name of a performer.
I was actually just telling Rosalia Valentine, my partner that I mentioned earlier. I feel like a lot of girls will like add ostrich feather to a costume to like add like an expensive kind of flair to it, and it gives that because ostrich feather is very much associated with like wealth and chic fashion. But sometimes I feel like it's just like virtue signaling. They're like, I'm gonna put ostrich feather on this, and then it's chic. So I think ostrich feather's cute, and when it's used
correctly
and deliberately, purposefully, then it's good. But I feel like ostrich feather is getting a little used and abused in the drag community.
Maybe in moderation too. Like maybe just like not too much.
No, because
or a lot.
I actually agree. I agree. If you're gonna do ostrich feather, I want more.
Okay, I just don't want a lot because that's the thing I sweep up most in the dressing room.
True.
Is like I'm like again ostrich feather, cool.
The trend that and this is gonna sound odd for me to say is fish. How many new drag performers are coming in trying to look like biological women? Which is again because that's the kind of drag that I do because I'm lazy. But it's become a thing where it's like, where's the excitement? Where's the like oddness that we used to have? The like the cut cheek, the super dramatic eye, and like all this stuff. The big wigs, like the old school like drag glamour is gone because everybody's like, I want to put on a little mini dress and look like the girl next door. That's boring.
Another trend is human hair.
Oh my God.
That I'm kind of sick of seeing because a lot of girls will go buy really expensive human hair units that are like $3,000 to $1,000 and up. Like they're very expensive. They're very expensive. But these girls don't know what the fuck to do to these wigs. They just plop these wigs on.
You could have just said my name, bitch.
And they look really dry. They look really crusty with some nasty split ends. I'm like, if you're going to buy a human hair wig, you have to treat it like your human hair. Like, you better wash it.
I do.
No,
it's
I'm not
dry as hell,
you.
too.
I'm not talking about you. Get some Olaplex, bitch.
I know. I really need to.
You got to wash that shit every time you perform. You better flat iron it, put some heat on it, give it some product. But these girls just throw on their human hair wigs looking
and it's dry.
Horrible.
Like it's literally like, it's true, because it'll be like this, like mine right now. And I will say, it was in a ponytail, so I didn't do anything with it today. But
that's like your actual hair. This is not a wig.
No, this is my actual hair.
And it hurts my feelings when girls will spend $700+ on a wig that they do not like put their...
They don't invest time in
effort into it. Yeah.
They don't invest time in it.
And it's like, just because it's human doesn't mean it's good.
And it's flat here, but poofy in the bottom.
So human
I know
hair,
who you're talking about.
Human hair, ostrich feathers, white around the lips. What else do I don't?
I don't think this isn't new, but I hate when drag performers come onto the scene and they're like, I'm gonna be the next this. Like I'm gonna be the next Apple, or I'm gonna be the next Tarrant. Like
you can't replace an icon when we're still living.
Right. Well, I don't even think you should try to replace someone when they're gone.
Oh no, let them try.
Okay. But you know what I mean? Like it's like if it's like, okay, so if I'm gonna be the next Apple and I'm gonna give you like 20. Apple Adams is a drag queen. She's usually on the show because she's at Apple YAS say, like
yes.
Yeah. There you go. It's alliterated, not alliterated. I don't know how to. Anyway.
Acronym.
Acronym. It's actually a backronym, but yeah.
It's a double acronym.
It's a
backronym.
It's a paradigm.
It's an acronym.
It's a paradacronym.
Paradacronym. Yes. But like, if someone's going to be the next Apple and they're going to give me 25% of Apple, why wouldn't I just book Apple and get 100% of Apple? Like, why would I pay somebody?
But that's what I said. Let them try. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Icons for a reason.
I need a list of trends so I can pick out the one that I
for
hate.
real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Alamode, if you're still watching, hit us with what the
new
trends are.
Ala, what is your trend that you're hating right now?
Yeah, we need to know what the trends are. I think, but
that's sad. We don't actually know because we don't care.
You know what? But I was gonna say is that's the thing. Like, and I don't want to.
Baby, I am the trend.
I don't want to be arrogant about it, but like,
and you start all of them.
We are three people.
You started that cum lip. I know you did.
No, I never did the cum lip.
I know you
I
did.
never did the cum
I'm pretty
lip.
sure I saw you behind that dumpster
No.
once, looking
No.
real cum lippy.
I'm Catholic.
That was
like,
mayo.
oh wait,
that was mayo from the elote.
I was like, actually,
It's the mayo from the elote.
And they thought it was a trend, and they started copying it. And really,
see?
Yaya was just hungry.
She was just back there.
It always
I'm
just
thirsty,
comes
you're
down
hungry.
to Yaya being hungry. Yeah.
No, I'm thirsty. You're hungry.
Oh my God.
No, but what was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh, we're three people that really kind of do what we feel in our heart and head,
Yeah,
right?
I
Like,
think we just
we're
kind
not
of roll with
following-
the flow. Like,
Yeah,
it
we're
doesn't
not
matter
really-
what it is.
I
We
don't
just
know.
do what we do.
I don't know if I've ever been like, oh, I want to get on that trend. I don't like like I want to go away from the trend. I think that's me.
There's some trends where I'm like, that's cunt. Like, I like
Having money. I love that trend.
Love that trend.
So if y'all see us out there, we love making money.
That's a trend.
Baby, that's a good trend to have.
I know. I didn't even know that was.
Even if it's not a trend, it is now, and it should be a trend.
What'd
to
you say
us.
earlier about a skill? That's just being a business person.
Another trend, and it doesn't necessarily bug me, but I notice it a lot, is like this Y2K aesthetic that everyone's really into.
2000s. It's because we lived it. You're traumatized.
Well, no, it's funny because I feel like the girls that really try to emulate that are the girls that were like born in 2005.
Right. Exactly. See, this is when you start to feel old.
Yeah.
My best friend who's 13
Honey,
years younger
we did
than
the
me.
same thing with the 80s.
Yeah.
I love me some.
So
80s.
Yaya's
Shut up.
Yaya's like 22.
25.
Close enough. And so this is her discovering what age feels like.
No,
yeah.
It's jarring when like these new girls step out and they're like, I'm giving Y2K. I'm like, you were born in 05.
Yeah, wait till they start calling
Like,
Britney oldies.
You
like,
literally were not alive when Titanic came out. You were a fetus.
You were.
You
You
were a-
saw it sink, bitch.
You were a fetus.
You were Rose McGowan letting Jack go.
Rose McGowan? That's a
her?
completely different
Is
person.
that her name?
Rose McGowan's an actress.
Then who the fuck was that?
Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet.
Plays Rose, but I don't know the last name.
Another
I don't know if
white
she had a
lady, I
last
don't
name.
know.
Rose Rich Bitch.
Rose McGowan.
No, but it wasn't her
is
name Rose in the movie?
Yeah, but Rose McGowan's a fully different person.
That's she was Uncharmed.
Oh yeah, she married that one Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I'm
She
confused.
knows that. She just
so weird.
Maybe she thought she was in Titanic.
See, I was thinking picking bad men.
Oh.
She let him go. Obviously, he wasn't that good.
What? And the Titanic was a bad
Both.
man?
I'm talking about both of them.
Okay.
But like these performers were literally fetuses when Britney dropped Blackout. And they're like, I'm giving Y2K. No.
You're only 4 years older than them.
And a lot happened in those 4 years. A lot happened. Let me tell you.
You realize you were 5 when that album
I
came
saw
out.
the death.
Just because you could have picked it up on CD or DVD-ROM or whatever it came out on does not mean you're that much older.
No, I saw the death of Blockbuster and pagers.
Oh, wow.
Because you worked there.
I remember my father had a pager, and then my mom got her first Nokia cell phone, and I was gagged. And now we all have iPhones and TikTok, and like the kids don't understand that like just 20 years
Life
ago,
was rough.
Just 20 years ago, I had to walk my ass down to Blockbuster if I wanted to get a game for my GameCube. And they're like, "What's a GameCube?"
Baby, I had a rotary phone.
Okay, damn. Don't gotta.
Like, it's
don't
not
tell-
a competition.
Don't don't one up us. You
I'm
old
just
bitch.
saying, like, right? I mean, I didn't need it because it was the 80s, and so like it was like quiche, but like
I also
I have one
finding
now.
one now.
I have a typewriter.
It's a purse. I have one now, and you
Oh,
connect it to your
same.
iPhone.
Yeah.
and you can dial it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really cool.
But see, the people that were born 4 years after me don't understand the struggle.
Wow.
So I think just to tie it all in, I think the trend I hate the most is when a new drag performer is like, I'm just gonna be a dancer and don't care about any other part of drag.
Half of those people don't even get booked, though. Let's be honest.
And they want to know why they don't.
Because you're a dancer,
Right.
Not a drag performer.
It's like, well, because you aren't giving me anything else.
And you're rude and smell bad.
That is. Who are we talking about?
I know. I was like, oh my god, who was that? Can you tell us after?
This is not about Tanya. I don't know.
It's not.
It's not about Tanya
it's not-
Thunder Thighs.
It's not Tanya.
No.
Because she at least smelled good.
Fantasy by Britney Spears.
Oh, did she?
I don't know, but
She
that's
did
my
smell good,
favorite
though.
scent. Yeah.
She did smell good.
She was like 6'7", out
Very
of heels.
tall woman.
Out of heels, and then like in heels, like over 7 foot.
She looked like
built like a linebacker.
A very tall linebacker.
Very tall. Very tall. Unshapely.
Actually built like a
we
defensive
do
end.
not need to drag this poor girl.
But I loved her. That's the thing. Like, she was horrible, but she was so good.
Look, that's okay. This actually is perfect for this episode. Did she ever dance?
No.
Are we still talking about her? Do you still remember? Yes. She was not a fucking dancer, and we're still talking about her 6 years later.
She had
She
moves.
walked around and felt herself.
She did do that.
And that was it.
But that's
and it
the
was
thing.
perfect.
She was there. She wasn't dancing. Like, how many people were? So we're all talking about a show called After Hours, which now exists as a show called FTLP, which stands for Fuck Tuesday Let's Party. And the other regular host of this show, Apple Adams, hosts it. It's an amateur drag show. That's where Yaya and I started. You didn't start there.
I did not.
Okay, but
I
you've
had
done
talent.
It.
I started at Sunday Showcase.
I definitely didn't when I started, and there were reasons you started there.
There's a reason.
Well, no, her reason's different.
No,
than
and there's
mine.
also a reason it shut down.
I started at After Hours because I was sneaking into the clubs at the age of 18.
I
and
know.
Yeah. If I went,
You're not supposed to say where.
I said the clubs.
I know, but you just said After Hours. Go on.
No, I
Quickly.
didn't.
Go on.
You weren't 16 when you were there.
No, I was
No.
legal adult. And I never drank alcohol because all I wanted to do was perform. And I would come in, I would perform, and I'm not going to go into all the details because it was illegal, but I came and I had a good time.
But, okay, my point was, oh my God, we're just going to need to delete that part of the show.
Baby, this is live.
I know, but no one's...
You really think Allah's not recording this whole thing?
I hope not.
Oh, no.
Tanya Thunder Thighs is now, she's like relevancy.
Good. Hopefully she finally covered up her left ball.
How many people... It's the fourth viewer. It's the ball is... Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's like, hi. I know I leaned right, but it's left on camera.
And kids these days don't know life before streaming.
No. My point
They
was...
really don't.
You've seen a lot of After Hours.
Oh, yes.
We started
Yes.
there. How many performers have come through After Hours and just danced, and we can't name them? But we can still talk about Tanya Thunder Thighs.
Nobody at After Hours dances, baby.
No, I mean, but they
There
tried.
were
Yeah.
a few that would come in.
What was her
remember?
name? Oh my God, there was that one girl. It wasn't.
That she would always end up twerking and
It
stuff?
wasn't Princess B, but it was
No.
because Princess B is a performer that she dances and she moves, but I love her.
A la Mode sent me some.
But it was her name
Questions?
was like Princess.
No,
B.
she sent me her trends. That
Trends.
she
Oh,
didn't
yes.
like. She said corset belts, as I said.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
She said that goddamn Mugler knockoff bodysuit.
Sorry
Begin
they
with
can't
something-
afford it. I have Mugler.
I also have the knockoff Mugler bodysuit.
That's
So if you see me
embarrassing.
in it, in my Fashion Nova, shut the fuck up.
I've never worn a bodysuit.
The no makeup / natural makeup.
Me. It's okay. I said I didn't like it either.
I mean, me too.
I literally said I didn't like it.
I don't mind
come
it.
for my gig.
I don't mind it.
Y'all
but
think you're giving natural?
my thing is like if you're gonna go for a beauty makeup over a drag makeup, still perform.
No,
Don't
yeah.
just take the stage and be like, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Like, that's boring.
Will you settle for awful makeup in exchange for a good drag number?
Yes.
Is it a good drag number?
Because makeup can be taught.
Yeah, true.
And stage presence can't.
Cannot. Yes, it can.
Oh wait. Oh, sorry.
Stage.
Shit.
Okay, here's.
I was trying to make a full circle moment, but that's what started this whole
Here's
fight.
what I think. I think stage presence can be taught, but stage awareness cannot.
So false, worsty. I think stage presence is something.
What did you say?
So false, worsty.
Okay.
It's the opposite of so true, bestie.
Okay.
I think stage presence is like an innate thing. Like you have to like just have it.
I think it is an innate thing, and I think you do. But I think what she's saying. Okay, so let's make this about comedy. You guys just watched comedy. You guys, you've seen live like stand-up comedy, right? Okay, so when I watch comics, it's really and you watch a lot of comedy.
I do.
So and you're at my shows with comedians. So when you watch a comedian, sometimes you can be like, why are they doing this? Like. They don't want to be up there, and nothing about what they're doing compels me to watch them. This is awkward. Who told them they should do this? Clearly somebody told them or forced them to go up there, right? Those people will never learn stage present. Like, but what's worse is their jokes suck, right? Like they're terrible. But they can learn over time what jokes the audience responds to, and they can build a 5-minute, 10-minute set of jokes that people like. They still don't understand why people like those jokes. They still don't know how to be funny. But almost like a stage play, they can go up, they can do their joke, blah 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 blah, and you laugh, and blah 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 blah, and then you laugh, and then they walk off. So you can learn how to perform, even without the awareness of how to perform. With the innate awareness. If you have it, you're better off. Right. Because then you don't have to learn that shit, and you can just do what your weird self wants to do.
I don't think you can be completely successful without that innate awareness, but I think you can tell somebody, hey, if you follow this criteria from beginning to end, you're going to do a good number.
But then you're a bully. But then you're bullying.
Why are you
bullying?
What?
People don't take that well.
Okay, that's a trend. Okay, that's my fucking new trend that I don't like. When people don't want or can't receive any form of criticism. Like, especially if you just want to help. Like, I don't want to give people critiques because I don't want them to say I'm a bully, or I don't want them to, like, get mad at me. It's like, I just want you to do better. Like, I'm just trying to help.
Okay, but sometimes you're just like, that was horrible. Maybe try this next time.
I am?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, no.
I'm projecting.
But there are some performers like that I've given like helpful like tips to.
Like who?
I don't want to name names because they're amazing performers. But
I'm drunk and I want
to a little bit.
Let's talk shit.
I don't care. So.
But like I mean I'll talk to them. I'll ask if I can say it on the show next time. Oh, we have something.
Well, it's sort of tying into what's been talked about. I don't want to spin it back, do the whole thing again here, but it is sort of a clarifier. Stage presence is the same as charisma, no, or similar in a way.
Who said that?
It was poor judgment, our regular viewer. So the question being, stage presence, same thing as charisma, or
absolutely not
similar?
No.
Charisma is something you have or you don't.
Charisma is like something that's
just you.
That's like
in
interactions.
That's something you can't teach. You can't teach somebody to want somebody to talk to you.
Right.
That's charisma. Like I can't tell you, oh, do this so that they'll want to talk to you.
No.
Like that's something that's you can't be.
Because that person will never understand that.
They'll
like,
never.
We could talk about charisma. Mm-hmm. We could talk about charisma, but like you can't explain to someone without charisma what charisma is. There is also a drag performer
or you
that
can't
actually
teach
is named
it.
charisma, but you can't teach it. Like you can't. It's a je ne sais quoi. Like when someone has this, that's that thing that I was just talking about. When the opposite of the comedian that I was talking about. When you see somebody, you're like, I don't know, they're not really that funny and they're not really that good, but like. I can't
me to them.
Yeah, I can't stop watching.
So I would say, as much as like charisma and stage presence are not synonymous, they are parallel.
They're parallel.
Sure.
One works with the other.
I have a comment from DJ Pocket, who's watching. He said, relating the stage presence thing to DJing, anyone can be the best technically savvy with their perfect transitions, but if their song selection is awful, then they're already losing. So
we're gonna have a whole episode dedicated to the art of DJing.
Oh yeah.
So you just wait, Mr. Pocket.
Music knowledge and good song selection is key. So I think he's saying the same thing we are. Like, if you feel the art form, if you feel the need to like perform and do all that, then it's gonna be easier for you to figure it out than someone who has none of that. I don't know. Any more questions? We're about near the end. You guys, anything to say? Any questions? No. Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming. I mean, we're not done yet, but like, thank you for coming. I appreciate it. You guys staying. Did you guys have anything you want to say?
No, I kind of want to come back to the question now. Now that we've had the discussion.
Oh yeah.
It's like let's come back to the question. It's like we've all given our points. Do you think that it's either necessary or not to be able to dance as a performer or a drag performer? Is that something that is a prerequisite to being a drag performer?
Okay, is it necessary being able to dance?
Yeah, because isn't that the question? Is it a prerequisite to be a dancer?
Right. After talking about it, I would say no, with the caveat of every once in a while, be able to move your body in a pleasing way.
Answer the question, yes or no.
This was your concept.
I know.
You said, let's have a show where we say yes or no. And she can't answer a fucking yes or no question.
Right.
Well, let's save Suzette to ruminate on that for a second.
Okay.
Quick. We'll keep this to a quick answer. I'm seeing some YouTube comments, so I'm gonna get those in there too.
Okay.
From Sabrinka. Sabrinka in? I don't know. Real quick, down the line, rapid fire. Please name top 3 things to be a successful drag performer.
Ooh.
Okay, we'll start you.
Marketing is probably my number one. Marketing, versatility, and creativity.
Okay, I'm going to say personality, creativity, and charisma.
Professionalism.
Ooh.
Creativity. And design skills, whether it's hair or costumes. You need to know how to like make stuff.
Okay.
Okay. Was there anything else, Jesse?
No.
Okay, cool. I didn't know if there were more. All right, I'm gonna say no. No, you don't have to be a dancer because there are other avenues. You can do stand-up. You can do you can just do ballads forever. You might not get booked at certain shows at certain clubs, but
you're really bad at answering yes or no
no,
questions.
it's no.
Okay.
I am bad.
No.
No, and I think it's because
No, you know what?
No.
I'm good at answering yes or no. I just love to hear the sound of my voice.
We know.
We can tell.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so then it's no. All 3 of us say no.
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 Okay, cool. What do you guys say after hearing us? What do you think? Okay.
It was a no all the way around.
Did you think yes before we did the show? Maybe.
Okay, we had 2 maybes.
Hey, twin.
They said no.
Hadn't thought about it. Not a drag connoisseur. It's cool. We can turn you.
You
into
are
one.
now.
Yeah.
You are now.
Okay. Well, before we go, again, thank you guys. Is there any topic that would interest you guys? We have a whole list, but and viewers at home too. What topic should we tackle? For a whole episode. You guys have any ideas? Any suggestions?
Yeah.
I always like the idea of hearing people's backstories, of how you guys got started, what your roots are, what your first, show was, stuff like that. That's interesting to me.
I love that.
So an origin story. So not even necessarily debating, but just
Well, I mean, you could also debate. I think that with origin story, now everybody nowadays you have to do a competition in order for you to be a booked queen. So it's was that part of our thing? Was that part of our origin story? Did we have to do something like that? So I think that's an awesome question.
That we could phrase it what's the best way to get into drag?
That could be everybody gets to talk about their little background and everything. And
right.
Yeah.
Or is there
how to break into the scene?
Is there one path into drag?
Yeah.
One common path.
You're smart, Alanis.
I love that. I love that.
Really? You don't stand Alanis Morissette? Okay. That's good for you, honestly. That's really great for you. That means she'll never burn your house down in a fit of rage. Well, you can burn her house down. Yeah. In a fit of rage, but that's a feisty lady.
All right, well, let's wrap this shit up.
Okay, there was something else I was going to say.
That's what my doctor said too.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
I don't remember what I was going to say. Any last words?
No.
Okay, any last words?
No.
Okay.
Any plugs?
Actually, what?
Oh yeah, plugs.
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you, Jesse. Let's plug everything.
Yeah, I'll plug. Okay. You can stream and listen to my music on Apple Music and Spotify. I am a musician. I have a show at the Callback Bar inside Punchline every first Tuesday called Nightcap Drag Cabaret. And occasionally I host Thirsty Thursdays at Badlands. So you can always catch me at Badlands at least 2 or 3 times a month. And
the next show you have is September 13th at Cabaret Nightcap.
True. Nightcap is September 13th. Mm-hmm. Get your tickets at livenation.com.
And we will be back. Actually, you want to plug anything?
I don't have anything to plug but my ears.
Okay. We'll be back here for the next Say Yes on September 2nd because that's the first Friday. So we'd love to have you guys come back and see the next. We don't know what the topic's going to be, but now we have a good one that we can put with all our other ideas and shake it around. So... and then I do this show and then a show called STFU that's at Stab. It's a really fun show where comics try lip syncing and drag queens try comedy. And then I have a show at Punchline on September 18th. So, and it's going to be my birthday show. So if you guys want to come to that, it'll be fun. And then I'll make sure that I put her in a show at some point so you can come see her. You'll just have to watch and subscribe to Instagram.
I'm the worst drag queen ever, but I'm still one of the icons somehow.
Strangely weird at the business aspect. Like you're really good at it.
I'm really good at whatever it is that I do apparently, because I hardly ever show up. I'm surprised I'm here.
I was really scared this was just going to be me and Suzette talking to each other.
I literally am.
I would rather just do that over time.
I'm really good at marketing while I'm out and about, and then I never show up.
It's not a joke. Like
no, I'm not. It's like I wish I was joking. Like I literally do that.
People will book
it happened,
an extra person just in case Aurora doesn't show up. Yeah.
And then I will still continue to get booked all over Sacramento, and I'm like, "Are you sure? You know my history. Let's be real." And then I
actually that could be an episode because that happens a lot in comedy too, where people like sometimes talent is just.
I'll be in the audience and I'll just be the heckler in there. Let me tell you something.
At the person who replaced you.
Yeah, literally.
Where is Aurora? Oh, she's in the audience.
She's out there. She didn't want to be up here for once.
She still looks beautiful in the audience.
And she'll still show up in drag.
No,
too.
and that's the sad thing. I've done that before too, where I was in the show, but I was too drunk to actually do the show, so I'll still hang out.
That's not a lie.
It's not a lie.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I'm in the audience, like giving people money. Tip them. Come on, don't be stingy.
That's why we keep booking you. Yeah.
That's why we keep booking.
Get the audience to tip. Okay, I think that's everything.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Drive safe. Get canes on the way home.
All right. Well.
Raising cane.
Abrupt.
Oh, wow.
That's it. Yeah deems it.
Show's over.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Check out full calendar events at stabcomedytheater.com. You can see what we're doing 6 nights a week. We're in person Thursday, Friday, Saturday, some Sundays now. But we stream everything that we do 6 nights a week. Check it out. We're back here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Regular exclusive blend, long-form improv. The Mix Fits. Short-form improv. So it's an improv night tomorrow. Join us here or see us on Stab TV. Let's send our online audience. How about over to MPT3K, Mystery Pinball Theater. Hold on for the raid, and we will see you back here tomorrow at 8 p.m. See you then. Hold on for the raid.
Show me round your food